after admitting to helping a friend's company with a tender submission. Testifying before the Madlanga Commission yesterday, Mnisi confirmed he gave pointers to his friend Sergeant Fanny Nkosi for a tender his brother was bidding for. Mnisi says there was no conflict of interest because Nkosi's brother was bidding for a tender at another government institution and not necessarily at the city of Tshwane. Tabiso Goba reports.
In April last year, Sergeant Fanny Nkosi sought tender advice from Tshwane CFO Gareth Mnisi on behalf of his brother. At the time, Nkosi's brother's company, Ngapesheya, had bid for a security tender at the municipality. Commission Chairperson Buyiseli Madlanga questioned Mnisi whether this posed a conflict of interest in his other role as the chairperson of the city's bid adjudication committee.
In fact, I will suggest to you that you basically do not know what a conflict of interest is if you can have as narrow a view as you have.
Mnisi disagreed with the chairperson's outlook, saying he had no business interest in Nkosi's brother's company.
Me providing general advice on a bid that's outside the city without any expectation of inducement, payment, or anything of that nature, it can't say I've got a conflict of interest because I'm not interested in that.
Mnisi returns to the commission today. Tabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
Meanwhile, the presiding magistrates in the case against Sergeant Fanny Nkosi will decide whether his release on bail is in the interest of justice. Nkosi yesterday appeared in the Pretoria North Magistrates Court on firearm-related charges and the theft of dockets. Police say 7 guns were found at his home during a raid earlier this month. Nkosi's bail judgment has been scheduled for tomorrow. Khumusa Modise reports.
Sergeant Fanny Nkosi is facing Schedule 5 offences according to the Criminal Procedure Act, and the onus is on him to prove that his release is in the interest of justice. But prosecutors insist there are major risks attached to his release. State Advocate Thulana Sekhonyane.
The evidence suggests that the applicant has lived a life of a delinquent, notwithstanding the fact that he is a member of the police. For this reason, there is a likelihood that the accused might opt to live a life of a fugitive to avoid possible imprisonment at the conclusion of his trial.
Nkosi's lawyers have asked the court not to use denying him bail as a form of punishment. Tomorrow, Magistrate Thandi Teledi will hand down judgment. Khumusa Modise, Eyewitness News, Pretoria.
Police have not ruled out the possibility of more arrests in the fraud and corruption case involving 2 senior City of Ekurhuleni officials. Suspended top cop Julius Mkhwanazi and city manager Kagiso Lerotla appeared in the Boksburg Magistrate Court yesterday. Mkhwanazi is accused of helping Lerotla manipulate a 2019 speeding case allegedly to prevent him from appearing in court. It's further alleged that another person was paid to impersonate Lerotla in court and was sentenced to community service while posing as the city manager. NPA spokesperson Kaiser Khanyago says investigations are ongoing.
We are confident that we have got good information and we have got evidence that will lead us into a prosecution. We will go for the harshest sentences ever, and then we will then make up our case around those issues to make sure that the punishment is fair.
And the US says it will not lift its blockade on Iranian ports until a deal has been reached with Tehran, as uncertainty continues if fresh talks to end the war will take place. President Donald Trump wrote on his Truth Social that the blockade, which began a week ago, is absolutely destroying Iran. A temporary US-Iran ceasefire is set to end tomorrow, but with no certainty over whether a second round of peace talks will go ahead in Pakistan. The US and Israel started the war in the Middle East when it attacked Iran with airstrikes in February. The conflict has rattled markets due to the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, in which 1/5 of the global oil passes, and it is described as one of the world's most important routes. Washington says a delegation is expected to head to Pakistan for the new round of peace negotiations with Iran if it agrees to those talks. Gold is trading at $4,812.53 an ounce. The rand is at 16.36 to the dollar. 22.15 to the pound, 19.29 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $90.38 a barrel.
And in the traffic in Montana Park, we've got an accident on the N1 South that happened right after Sefako Makhato exit. It's causing heavy traffic volumes. Please be on the lookout there. While traveling on the R80 East, we've got delays towards SK and Pahlele Drive, and traveling in the Germiston area, queuing traffic on the N3 North between the Airlines Interchange and Van Buren Road.
And in your sport, West Ham's goalless game with Crystal Palace moves them 2 points clear of the drop zone, but confirms that Wolves has been relegated from the Premier League. Springbok scrum half Grant Williams will leave the Sharks in June to join a Japanese side. Tennis dominated the Laureus Awards with Alcaraz and Sabalenka named Sportsman and Woman of the Year. And the FIA has tweaked some rules for the rest of the F1 season.
A cloudy day in store for Gauteng with scattered showers and thunder showers expected. Johannesburg starting at 14 degrees, peaking at 23. Pretoria 15 and 24. Vereeniging 14 and 24 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Tswane's suspended Chief Financial Officer Gareth Mnisi has been accused of having a narrow view of conflict of interest after admitting to helping a friend's company with a tender submission.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
7 minutes after 6 o'clock, he'll surely be a contender. What you've just heard there in Eyewitness News, the suspended Chief Financial Officer Gareth Mnisi, accused of having a narrow view of what a conflict of interest might be. He's not conflicted, he says, if he's not interested in the entity. It's as simple as that. And our shout out this morning is very simple. Who is the most self-assured person you know? No matter what, rain or shine, this person, they appear at least on the outside to have a confidence, a sense of themselves that can never be shaken or dented, no matter what is going on. You've known things about them that you thought, now this will move them. I know. This is a king. This is a queen. On our menu today, we continue with our series on Black Sheep Thinking, brought to you by Camisa Asset Management. We'll tell you about the doctor who essentially, at least for the West, because this stuff was known in West Africa already, understood germ theory for the first time. His name was Dr. Jon Snow. And no, he wasn't from Westeros. Game of Thrones will get that. Our big interview this morning focuses on what on earth has happened to our police. Since 1994, please name me one top cop who left the job clean, with no accusations, with no disruptions, without being fired, without being asked to leave. Yet again, South Africa has the unique problem of its top police officer, the National Commissioner of Police, in the dock.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
And because we're supporters of the arts, just before 9 o'clock, we'll tell you about festivals Shandi Swan, bringing multilingual stories to life on a single stage. As always, I'm not alone. I've got a team of colleagues behind the scenes. Producers Baphelile Siamtanda Karabo, and Palisa is here for the week to start the clock. She's also known as DJ Scooby. She's a fantastic DJ. You should follow her on Instagram. She can spin the wheel like no other. We've got a mix later on. Can you meet KG standards, Palisa? Let us see. Good morning, Amoramila.
A very good morning, Bongs, and morning 702 lenders.
You are here, of course, to get us safely on our morning commute, as always. Muteo, Khwaripe.
Morning, Bongs.
Good morning. You're all suited up today?
Yes, I am.
Off to go make some money?
Yes, I am.
I thought you would say, what is this? What do you think I'm doing now? All right, I got a question for you, as always. You've heard it. Who is the most self-assured person you know? Come rain or shine, this person's confidence, the step, of their gait can never be shaken. Muteo?
Can we discuss people we work with?
You're on very dangerous, very thin ice. Continue. No, I mean, whatever your answer is your answer.
No, I know several people that are like that, that are self-assured, firstly because they just confident naturally, but also have very good abilities at what they do.
Okay, are you going to give us a name? At
Oh,
some
no,
point?
no, no, no. I know several. No names. No names. I know several.
You know we can't go into your mind. Give us a name.
I can't give you a name.
Are you at the Malanga Commission of Inquiry? This is the kind of witness he would be.
Yeah.
I would be forced to give a name there.
Oh. You want to keep making money? Who's the most self-assured person?
It definitely has to be the American sprinter Noah Lyles. And even recently there's a social media post that came out that he didn't praise his wife at the when she walked down the aisle. He didn't act as if he was happy to see her looking so beautiful. He was just like not fazed about that. I've never seen anybody who's so sure about himself. And even at the Olympics,
that's going towards arrogance though.
But isn't there a fine line between the person who's sure about and the person who's arrogant?
In my meaning, somebody who's self-assured is somebody who's confident. It doesn't necessarily mean something negative. Somebody who is confident in their abilities and what they can do and their impact. And they've just got a spring in their step, and they stand on business.
He also stands on business.
Clearly. I tell you what, who is a contender is this suspended Tshwane CFO, Gareth Mnisi, who's been, of course, testifying at the Malanga Commission of Inquiry. I want you to listen to this where at issue is the relationship between Gareth Mnisi, and you remember that police officer, Sergeant Fani Nkosi. And in this case, the accusation is that Nkosi would send Mnisi lists of contenders for tenders. Contenders for tenders. And Mnisi was not only the CFO, he also sat, or in fact headed the bid adjudication committee. So he had a lot of influence on who gets tenders. And so he's been questioned about this list and that relationship with Fani Nkosi. And his answer here is, I was simply humoring him. I just wanted to see what he had to say.
If you said you cannot assist with that, why is he sending you a reminder and you are thanking him? Why do you not say, I told you not to send me these things because there's nothing I can do?
Chairperson, I think what's clear here is that he's clearly of the mistaken view that I can check compliance first.
Yeah, but he can't make the same mistake repeatedly. The first time you tell him this cannot be done, then if he understood you, he would stop. The fact that he keeps repeating it and you keep thanking him suggests that you didn't make it clear to him that you are in the middle of a tender process. You cannot interfere. He must stop asking you to check compliance. Clearly, you did not do that.
So this is about a WhatsApp exchange between Mnisi and Sergeant Nkosi. And essentially, Mnisi maintains here that Nkosi was seeking help to do with issues around compliance. But in the WhatsApp exchanges, as you hear there from Commissioner Sandile Khumalo, there's no conversation about compliance at all because the process was already closed. And so whatever the conversation was about was not to do with compliance. In fact, at some point, the chair of the commission, Justice Mbuyiseli Madlanga, also steps in and puts some questions to Mnisi.
157, with your permission, if I can continue. It will take you to where you want to go, Chair. 157,
before we go on,
March.
I don't understand your response.
Yes.
Earlier, you said you told him that you could not assist because of the stage at which the process was. Then there are the calls between the two of you, and then bottom of 152, he sends you the names of the two entities again, and you thank him. I don't understand your response to the questions by my co-commissioners. Can you please make me understand?
So the purpose of my response was to thank him for the reminder, Chair. I did mention earlier on.
He was reminding you. What exactly was the reminder about?
Who is the most self-assured person you know? One of the things I'm beginning to get a sense of is the suspended CFO, Gareth Mnisi, has gone to the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, and he thinks because he knows his stuff. I mean, on Friday, his attempt was to just overwhelm them with, a voluminous presentation, thinking that the more he speaks, the more he'll drown them with information. And increasingly, I think he thinks he's smarter than these commissioners. I mean, what's your sense? Have you been watching his testimony? Let me play you perhaps one more clip where he now claims to the commission that, in fact, not only were they not friends with Faninkosi, he increasingly was irritated with his overtures.
Listed page 177, that text rather.
Yes.
At 177, he says, our vehicles, Captain, find below our vehicles for land to be given going forward to in order of priority.
Yes.
Are you asking us to ignore in order of priority as having any meaning?
No, not at all. Not at all.
You want us to understand that he was saying to you, check for compliance in order of priority.
Remember, Commissioner, it's what I understood from reading this text.
Yeah, no, I'm asking you a question. Are you asking us, are you saying to us, we should understand the end of that message where it says in order of priority, we must understand it to mean he was saying check these in order of priority for compliance?
Commissioner, for me to make you understand, I need to make you understand what I understood. That's what I can do. What I understood at this point in time,
yes,
as per the context of the discussion, was that give these vehicles in order of this priority to check compliance. That's what I understood at the time.
That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, who's the most self-assured person you know?
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
7:02 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
17 after 6. Mteo Kharipe, you've got a question of your own?
Yeah, very interesting one this morning. When do you bring up serious topics in a relationship?
I think quite early on. We're talking what?
We're talking marriage, kids, legalities, finances.
Ooh.
Why is that an ooh?
So things like marriage and kids are perhaps easier to bring up earlier on. Money's a tricky one.
Is it?
Early on. Money's a tricky one.
Amo?
Maybe after a couple of years, and when you can see that the foundation has been built, if families have met each other, if you are always in each other's companies.
Find out after 2 years you broke.
No, you're bringing up the conversation. You're talking about the serious things.
When your family now knows.
The guy of your family already knows the guy. Hanti broke. 2 years later.
That's to you too. This is not about family. It's about the two of you.
Yeah, not quite that long.
Yeah, not that long.
Not quite that long.
7:02.
Weather.
It's 19 after 6 o'clock. What conditions can you expect on this Tuesday, the 21st of April? Temperatures a little lower in Gauteng. The maximum for Pretoria and Vereeniging is 24 degrees. Joburg peaks at 23. And you can expect a cloudy day with scattered showers and thunder showers. Cape Town maxes at 17 degrees, just a degree higher than yesterday. Your peak in Mahikeng is 26. Gqeberha 23. East London 24. And Durban is 28. And of course, that weather report brought to you by Subaru. Wet roads, rough roads, roads you didn't expect. Subaru carries you through life's weather.
The forecast says sunshine, but Mother Nature had other plans. Life changes, the weather turns. Little voices in the back still hoping you'll say yes. And you do, because beneath you there's a different kind of certainty in every turn and every stretch of road ahead. You don't worry about the weather. Instead, you get to enjoy every moment and every memory. That's not just confidence, it's love. Subaru carries you through life's weather. Fall in love with Subaru's all-weather confidence. Book a test drive on subaru.co.za.
EWN Traffic.
20 after 6, let's catch up with the roads. Amma, what are you seeing first up this morning?
Well, we've got a hectic accident reported in East London, right along the N1 South, in right after Sefako-Makgato exit. It's causing about a 20-minute hold-up towards the Proof Plus interchange. Please be on the lookout there. While traveling on the R80 East, we've got more delays towards Eskom Patlele Drive, peak time delays there, and traffic lights are out of order in the city of Tshwane Centurion at Old Johannesburg Road and the Brakfontein Road off-ramp. And then if you're traveling in Joburg, we've got queuing traffic along the M1 North approaching the Crown interchange. Please be on the lookout there. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Morning, Bongs and the listeners. Hey, one person that I know that got that confident, it gotta be my sister. Yo, my older sister. Yo, Bongs. Fanagit, Mamela. It can be a wedding, it can be a funeral. She always comes on top. Adikeni, aganandabanani. Uzonitshela what you get off makufuna yena, and you're gonna do things makufuna yena, and then nobody will say anything. Everything is on ngesikhathi sakhe. It's all performs for you.
Part of the 702 family.
Hello, my name is Yolanda from Beauty and Treats. I actually live in Melville. 702 means for me changing the narrative and also being very informative. Thank you for listening.
Welcome to our 702 family. Let's walk the talk.
Joburg is more than just a city, it's an unmistakable rhythm that brings us all together. In celebration of this, 702 has partnered with Jozi My Jozi to unite the whole of Joburg in the 702 Jozi My Jozi Walk the Talk. Babiza Bonke, Sunday the 26th of July. We're going to walk through the iconic Joburg CBD, and we want you to join us and be a part of something special. Entries will open soon. In the meantime, you need to stay tuned to 702 and get ready for 702 Jozi My Jozi Walk the Talk, and it's hosted by the city of Joburg. Walk with the people, for our Jozi. Babiza Bonke. More on primemediaplus.com.
That's Amanda before she got naked. When the power tripped, Amanda felt more helpless than when her mom-in-law called her lasagna different. So Amanda got naked. She got car and home insurance at a lower premium and can now call an electrician anytime via the Naked app. There we go. Cover your car and home now at naked.insure and see how easy insurance can be when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
How's that? I dedicate this song to my bro, Brody. You never ask questions, okay? You just took me in, but you may be a 1999 occasional chair to everyone else, Broadster, but you make me feel like $1 million, not Zim dollars. The song's called We Belong Together.
Warning, you may love everything at DecoFern with incredible deals right now on the best value furniture. Exclusive to your local DecoFern or decofurnsa.co.za.
Running a small business is not just having a great idea. It's about having the right tools to grow it. And that's where MTN Business comes in. And beyond 702 MTN Small Business, they're doing a lot more to help SMEs succeed. So tomorrow on the afternoon drive with John Perlman, we'll be in conversation with MTN Business, unpacking how their integrated digital services and cloud solutions help SMEs simplify operations to drive real progress. Tune in to find out how they can help take your business further too. MTN Business. Let's talk shop on 702.
Start your day with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
Appreciate that voice note from Aubrey calling us from Spruit View. It's 24 after 6 o'clock. I'm asking a very simple question. Who is the most self-assured person you know? And what is it about them that makes you see them that way? All right, so I've already posited that Gareth Mnisi, the suspended Tshwane CFO, could be a contender. But listen to this guy, Julius Mkhwanazi, again suspended, the Deputy Metro Police Chief in Ekurhuleni. So, his pal, Kagiso Lerutla, had a problem. So, Kagiso Lerutla had applied to become the CFO of Ekurhuleni. He had an interview. It was scheduled. Everything great so far. What happened? He also had a speeding fine. So, you can see the problem, right? You want to be the CFO of the Metro, you've got a speeding fine, and he's meant to appear in court that day. So Julius Mkhwanazi says, my guy, I got you. Hey, Mutia, what friends do you have? He says, they'll hire an impersonator who will show up in court as Kagiso Lerutla so that this guy can go to the job. That's exactly what happened, it is alleged. And he got the job. But also, guess what? For 3 years in a row, as CFO, Ekurhuleni got a clean audit. Who would be your impersonator, I wonder? Of course, we are mourning Udeliwe, guys. Udeliwe, veteran actress Cynthia Shange, passed away yesterday at the age of 76. You'll remember her, of course, as that character Udeliwe, a movie made in South Africa in 1975. He had roles in Shaka Zulu, more lately in Mobango, where she was, I think, Tandaza's mother in Mobango. And of course, she made history representing South Africa on the international stage in the early 70s when she was the first Miss Black South Africa, because that's what we did in those days, representing the country at Miss World in 1972. Now, have you posted anything online that could cost you your job? The South African Police Services have now issued a stern warning to officers not to post videos or photos of themselves on social media in uniform. So no more officers with tight pants on social media trying to get likes. SAPS says absolutely no. We don't want officers going viral dancing in uniform. Is that a thing? What's your view? The trial within a trial, the Lusikisiki mass murder case expected to conclude. At the heart of it, of course, are explosive claims from some of the accused who say they were beaten by officers as they were arrested in October 2024. And those allegations have hung over the case like a shadow, forcing the court to first determine what is admissible and what is not, based on supposed confessions from those arrests. So that matter will be concluded today. And on this day in 2003, the singer-activist Nina Simone passed away at the age of 70 following a long battle with cancer. A towering voice in music and activism, she left behind so many timeless classics like Feeling Good, My Baby Just Kissed for Me, I Put a Spell on You, and The Other Woman.
702.
The newspapers.
Fisa Zulu,
good morning.
A very good morning to you. What's grabbing your attention in the papers?
It's a story out of India where politicians have kicked off election campaigning with a cultural twist. They've hit the streets holding fish in hand. So I wonder if they haven't borrowed from the ANC's One Loaf, One Family controversy that happened a couple of months ago.
Gosh.
So anyway, the candidates from both the main party and the main opposition party are using fish, and they are saying that this is a symbol to connect with voters in West Bengal, where it is a daily staple and a strong part of cultural identity.
Tell me, was there bread?
No.
And how many people in the crowd? 5,000?
A lot. So they're going house to house with fish in hand. But this comes in the wake of political tensions over food culture, with concerns that dietary traditions could be influenced by national politics. And as politicians do, they are justifying this whole thing, saying that it is about protecting culture and a way of life.
Give us this day our daily fish, eh? Front page of the Business Day, S&P Global on track to maintain South Africa's rating. The Sowetan has a picture of Cynthia Shange, as I've just told you. Go well, trailblazer. And the story of the Ekurhuleni city manager now, who allegedly used an imposter to appear on his behalf in court. And the Citizen is running a story on the vaping crisis in schools. Many of our children are smoking this stuff. And yeah, it's bad for their lungs.
EWN Business.
Mutel wants to know, when do you bring up the serious topics in a new relationship, I suppose? Be it finances, your views on marriage, kids, religion, straight off the bat, or do you wait? I think it depends on the topic. What prompts the question, Mutewa?
Well, Bongani, regardless of how long a couple lives together in South Africa, cohabitation does not automatically confer legal rights, such as automatic inheritance, shared property, or maintenance upon separation or death. Now, the recent decision by the Western Cape High Court could shift precedent on spousal maintenance in a situation where the partners are not legally married. In PAL versus RJT, the court found that the woman was due interim maintenance as the legal proceedings continue to save her from financial distress. Now, in the Western Cape High Court matter, the said couple had been together for since 1991, living together with 2 kids. They even referred to each other as husband and wife at some point, even though they were not legally married. They separated, and when they did, the father promised to still take care of the mother before abruptly stopping payments after 3 years. That's when the woman then approach the courts. SARS does recognize life partnerships for estate duty. To prove this, you need an affidavit, statement from family and friends that you were together like husband and wife, evidence like being named as a beneficiary in a will, and a cohabiting agreement as well. Now, high-value spousal maintenance in South Africa is determined by the court based on needs and lifestyle. Some important judgments that have come through since over at the Gauteng High Court ordering a husband to pay more than 67,000 Rand monthly to a spouse and for spousal maintenance and child maintenance as well. And the Supreme Court of Appeal ordering a man to pay over 3 million Rand in accrued maintenance 29 years after the divorce. 29 years after the divorce, they did the numbers and 3 million.
The cost of Mojolo in this life. That's frightening. Where's the Rand?
16 Rand 37 cents against the US dollar, 19 Rand 29 cents against the euro, and 22 Rand 12 cents against the British pound. Price of gold, $4,794 an ounce, or platinum at $2,074. Brent crude at $94 a barrel. More business after 7.
Straight to the news desk we go. Sfiso Zulu, what you got at this hour?
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. SACP members who are also holding membership for the ANC will be issued with letters by Thursday to indicate where their allegiance will lie in the upcoming local government elections. The party says it can't be a target for the SACP as it looks to woo voters at the ballot box for the first time. ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula says while dual party membership will be unaffected by their choice, the party must draw a line in the sand to protect its own campaign.
We must not understand that as inimical, as something compared to other opponents. They have taken a decision, but they are not out of the alliance. We will see out of the elections what will this give to the alliance, this contestation by the SACP.
He says the party respects the SACP's resolution taken at its Congress in 2024 and that there's no going back on it.
Of course, we're concerned about the vitriolic attacks on the ANC by the Communist Party in terms of this contestation.
The DA in eThekwini Metro has slammed the municipality for what it labels unregulated protests affecting businesses. There were violent clashes yesterday between members of civic organization March and March Movement and foreign nationals in the city centre. The group says it was protesting against undocumented migrants. DA eThekwini Councillor Simone has urged law enforcement agencies to act.
Unregulated protests create conditions for criminal activity, including looting and muggings, further placing both residents and businesses at risk. We further call on the South African police services and Metro Police to act decisively to prevent violence, enforce the law, and protect both residents and businesses.
The municipality is yet to respond to those calls. Alleged underworld gang boss Nafees Modak has cried foul in the Western Cape High Court, citing he's a victim of an unfair trial. Modak faces 122 charges, including murder, extortion, racketeering, fraud and money laundering related to allegedly operating a criminal enterprise. In the past week, 2 defense witnesses have failed to corroborate Modak's allegations of a conspiracy against him by his underworld rivals and senior police officers. Carlo Peterson has more.
Presiding Judge Robert Henney ruled against 2 attempts by Nafees Modak's lawyer advocate Bashir Sibda yesterday related to his client's claims of police corruption. Sibda led evidence by Police Captain Alfred Barker and dismissed Police Warrant Officer Ridwan Titus to corroborate Modak's allegations. Henney ruled both attempts by Sibda were inadmissible, prompting an outburst by Modak. Modak told Henney he would like a new lawyer, arguing Sibda refused to address his plea for an unfair trial. Henney adjourned proceedings for Sibda to take instructions from Modak for the matter to proceed today. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
And Arts and Culture Minister Gayton McKenzie has extended his condolences to the family of veteran actress Cynthia Shange. Shange, also a former beauty queen, died in hospital in KwaZulu-Natal yesterday following a short illness. She was 76 years old. She was known for her roles in popular TV shows including Muvhango, Deliwe and Shaka Zulu, among others. Shange rose to prominence in the 70s when she represented South Africa at a Miss World pageant in London. Department spokesperson Stacey Lee Kojane says Shange broke barriers for many black women.
Cynthia Shange carried the hopes of many and proved that talent, resilience and identity cannot be suppressed. Her life's work will continue to inspire young women and creatives to claim their space in the world. The Minister and Deputy Minister extend their deepest condolences to the Shange family, colleagues and broader arts and culture community.
A cloudy day in store for Gauteng with scattered showers expected. The temperatures are at lows of 14 and 15 degrees, peaking at highs between 23 and 24.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the Markwan North between Boysons Road and Carr Street. There's also queuing traffic along the M2 West between Heidelberg Road and the Crown Interchange. That's due to peak time delays.
The top story this hour, SACP members who are also holding ANC membership will be issued with letters by Thursday to indicate where their allegiance lie.
702 Drive with John Perlman.
My show is about keeping our listeners company in the last part of the day in the most interesting and entertaining way that we possibly can. So the crucial thing for us is we've got to provide them with a mix. The news, yes, the big stories, of course, but we've got to talk about other things that make them laugh, make them think about things they've never thought about, and most important, that invite them to have a conversation with us. What I love about the 702 family and 702 land. First of all, I should just say people never stop surprising me. And the thing that is perhaps the thing I love the most is people manage to find things that make them laugh. And they don't laugh from a place of ridicule. They laugh from a place of deep humanity, because our ability to laugh has got us through so much over these many decades, and we're going to need it plenty in the decades to come.
702 Drive with John Perlman, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m.
Coming up on 702, we'll look at how one breakthrough idea and unconventional thinking reshaped the world and delivered better outcomes. It's part of Black Sheep Thinking, powered by Camisa Asset Management. Invest differently. Camisa Asset Management is a licensed FSP.
It's 6 a.m. in Kenya. Victor's little sister starts high school today, but her fees need to be paid first. Back in Jozi, Victor logs onto the Absa banking app and sends her money and a little extra for lunch. It arrives instantly.
Your money makes their world go round. Send cash to 18 countries across the world with Absa Global Pay. It's safe, instant, and affordable. Your story matters. Absa is an authorized FSP and a registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Attention all shoppers.
Our supermarket shelves are full of unhealthy food. It's often hard for me to know which foods are good for my family. The information on packaged food is complicated and hard to understand. I wish we had easy-to-understand warning labels on foods high in salt, sugar, and saturated fat. We have the right to know what's in our food. Support front-of-package warning labels on unhealthy packaged foods. Sign the petition on healer.org. That's HEALA.org.
Calling all wedding planners and venues, restaurants, conference centers, and hotels. Do you need tables and chairs? Home in One has it all. Do you need cutlery, crockery, table linen, and restaurant equipment? Home in One has it all. Do you need tents, gazebos, or umbrellas? Home in One has it all. Affordable prices, the latest trends, with 2 branches in Pretoria and Johannesburg. Shop online at homein1.co.za because we're your number one choice. Home in One has it all.
Coming up in the next hour, what's the question? Brought to you by Outsurance. 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. You send us an answer based on anything that piqued your interest during the show. You win $1,000 for that. You simply WhatsApp us your name and the answer to 072 702 1702. And of course, a little later, someone else will ask a question to win 2,000 Rand. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Hey, good morning, Bongani. How are you?
the most self-assured person that I know definitely has to be Jacob Zuma. Even when he's reading out a wrong number, he's confident about that. Even when he's supposed to be going to prison, he's not shaken. Jacob Zuma, definitely. And awesome show, by the way.
Yo, Bongani, good morning. Yeah, there's a lady called Queen Nandi on social media. Boy, they bash her. But she's the one. She will post something and people will bash her left and right and center. But bona, Queen Nandi will still be Queen Nandi. Like, at some point, I thought she was going to, like, be admitted at the hospital, Ilona, depression, but bona, never. She's still Queen Nandi till today.
We're asking you a very simple question. Who's the most self-assured person you know? I've given you two contenders. This is, of course, the suspended CFO in Tshwane who's been facing the music at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. We've spoken about Julia Simkwanazi. Perhaps another contender is the singer and activist who died on this day, Nina Simone, passing away at the age of 70 following a battle with cancer. I want you to listen to, it's an old interview from the 90s, BBC's Hard Talk, then hosted by Tim Sebastian. Nina Simone speaking of a clash she had with a record executive.
I was a record company that stole my albums and didn't pay me, and they came to Switzerland, and I said, "Where's my money?" And they said, "We're not going to give you any money." I said, "Oh, yes, you are." And I got a gun. It was a gun. It wasn't a knife. And I followed him to a restaurant, and I tried to kill him. I missed him, and I went back to America.
You actually pulled the trigger?
Oh, excuse me. Yes, I did.
And felt better for it?
Oh, yes. Sorry I didn't get him.
EWN Sport.
Oh, gosh, Cindy Peluta. You're quite self-assured yourself.
I am selfish to a point because I don't like to share, right? And being selfish is how you treat others.
I self-assured, not selfish.
Oh, I thought you said selfish.
No, self-assured.
Oh, okay. Because off air you said to me, "I'm going to ask about," and I heard selfish. So yeah,
self-assured.
So I am half deaf. I do know that. I have had my hearing tested, and there's a certain frequency that I have lost, which is
Really?
I'm sure the frequency that
You're not just joking.
No, I'm sure. So it's very common for broadcasters and airplane pilots. We lose a certain frequency from the white noise from the headphones. And I'm almost 100% convinced that my husband speaks to me in the same frequency. But that's a story for another day. I thought I heard you say selfish, right?
All right.
And I had a whole long list of selfish people I could name, Bongani, but now I won't.
Let's go straight to the sport, I think.
Okay. Yes, I am self-assured. Right.
West Ham versus Crystal Palace.
Last night in the Premier League, they played to a goalless result. Palace thought they had won it late, but a VAR decision ruled out the goal. West Ham fighting to avoid relegation are now 2 points clear of the bottom three. The result means that Wolves has been relegated from the Premier League after being there for 8 years. Tonight, Chelsea's away at Brighton and only 1 point separates those sides. In rugby, Springbok scrum half Grant Williams will leave the Sharks at the end of his contract in June, joining a Japanese side which has not been disclosed. At the IPL, Mumbai Indians cruised to a 99-run win over Gujarat Titans. De Kock on the winning side only made 13 from 11. He was caught and bowled by Kagiso Rabada. Rabada finished with 3 wickets on the night. Later today, Sunrisers Hyderabad against Delhi Capitals. At the Laureus Sports Awards last night, Arina Sabalenka and Carlos Alcaraz were named Sportswoman and Man of the Year. PSG was Team of the Year. F1 champion, defending champion Lando Norris, Breakthrough of the Year. At the event, Carlos Alcaraz, speaking about his current wrist injury, says if he hasn't fully healed, he would rather skip this year's French Open than risk long-term damage.
No.
It's quite an interesting decision because I think back in the day, people would have played through the pain. And now he's going, I'm still young.
Yeah.
There'll be many more French Opens. But what if his decision to not push through the pain for this one doesn't see him, like, let's say, for example, go on and eclipse Rafael Nadal?
What if, look.
So just let's put a pin in it.
Yeah, as you say, he's young enough. He's already done so much.
Okay, but let's
cross our fingers.
Let's put a pin in it.
Yeah.
And when it comes time, and we're still on air in about 10 years' time, speaking about French Open Bongani, we'll speak about Carlos Alcaraz and missing out, and will it come back to this wrist injury? And Formula One has introduced a set of changes aimed at making racing more exciting and safer for drivers. The new adjustments reduces how much drivers need to conserve energy, allowing them to push harder and race more aggressively, especially in qualifying. At the same time, updated safety measures for race starts and wet conditions are designed to improve visibility and lower the risk of accidents, all contributing to faster, more competitive racing overall.
As you roll your eyes,
yes,
even 10 years from now, if Alcaraz were to win all the French Opens, he still wouldn't have eclipsed Nadal. Is how phenomenal that record of 14 is.
He could. He's what, 20? He's 20.
No, I'm saying 10 years is not enough time.
Oh, okay. So when we're still here, Bongani, in 15 years, which we will be.
There we go. That's more about Nadal, though.
What will we be speaking about being self-assured and selfish? We definitely won't be able to hear each other in 15 years. Cindy Palooza, Eyewitness News Sport.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Hi, Uncle Bongani. My name is Bongani. I'm 10 years old. I go to Village Waldorf School, and when I grow up, I want to be a building engineer. And I'm excited to play the Whiz Quiz.
That's Fani before he got naked. Fani's insurance premium went up for no reason, irritating him more than when the boys ignored the really, really, really funny meme he posted in the group chat.
What?
So Fani got naked. He got comprehensive car insurance and a way lower premium in seconds on the Naked app. Go Fani. Get a car and home insurance quote now at naked.insure and see how much you can save when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
Yeah, yes. I used to lose time in my business every day. Slow internet, orders not going through, clients waiting. It starts small, but it adds up. You miss one thing, then another, and before you know it, everything is behind. So, I upgrade, and I got fast, reliable connectivity from MTN Business to focus on growth.
Your business doesn't buffer, so why should your tech? Let's talk shop. Click on mtn.co.za/business or visit an MTN store today. MTN Business, Africa's leading enabler of connectivity and converged solutions.
Do you struggle with IBS, constipation, diabetes, ulcers, and other chronic conditions? The Roots Health Center, founded by Dr. Thabang Mlife, focuses on treating the root cause. Their holistic service includes blood analysis, detox programs, colon hydrotherapy, and herbal medicine. Visit their Soweto or Spruitview branches, with Walkerville opening soon. The Roots Health Center.co.za for more. Roots Health Center, restoring your health naturally.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
12 to 7, the CWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, you can ask them for 500 Rand. That crash, was it in Montana, Amo?
That's correct, Bongani, in the city of Tshwane. It's right along the N1 South after Sefako Makgato exit. It's causing heavy traffic volumes, about a 20-minute hold-up. There's also queuing traffic along Sefako Makgato, just people trying to navigate their way around the scene. And if you are traveling in Mountain View, we've got more delays along the R80 East between the Hairpin Bend and Eskiam Patlele Drive. Traveling in Joburg, more delays on the Mike 1 North between Boyson's Road and Carr Street. So heading towards the Joburg CBD could take you about 40 minutes, but please try to use the N1 North instead. And then traveling on the M2 West, queuing traffic between Heidelberg Road and the Crown Interchange. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Things people stress about in traffic. Number 47.
Did I turn the iron off?
Oh, the inner turmoil. Well, with the Outsurance Pointsman on your route, at least the traffic is one less thing to stress about. The Outsurance Pointsmen have been easing traffic congestion so we all get to where we need to be quickly and safely for the past 20 years. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
702 Drive with John Perlman.
My show is about keeping our listeners company in the last part of the day in the most interesting and entertaining way that we possibly can. So the crucial thing for us is we've got to provide them with a mix. The news, yes, the big stories, of course, but we've got to talk about other things that make them laugh, make them think about things they've never thought about, and most important, that invite them to have a conversation with us. What I love about the 702 family and 702 land, first of all, I should just say people never stop surprising me. And the thing that is perhaps the thing I love the most is people manage to find things that make them laugh. And they don't laugh from a place of ridicule, they laugh from a place of deep humanity, because our ability to laugh has got us through so much over these many decades, and we're going to need it plenty in the decades to come.
702 Drive with John Perlman. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m.
At Chamberlain's, there's something for everyone. From building supplies for the home renovators to garden essentials for the homemakers. From power tools for the DIY doers to painting supplies for the patio Picassos. We even have coffee for the slightly sleepy and snacks for the young ones. And for the ones who can never quite find what they're looking for, we have you covered too. With our promise to find and source whatever you need. Chamberlain's, famous for hardware since 1903.
That's Kefense, before she got naked. Kefense's premium went up twice last year, and she was more confused than when her ex said, I need to find myself, and then found somebody else. So Kefense got naked. She got comprehensive car insurance and a way lower premium in seconds on the Naked app. Good for you, Kefense. Get a car and home insurance quote now at naked.insure and see how much you can save when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Let's give away some cash, shall we? Today, we're playing with a 10-year-old. His name is the best name you can get. Amo, what might his name be?
Yo, Bongani.
Of course his name is Bongani.
Talking about self-assurance.
Bongani, what a great name, hey? Bongani.
Yes.
You've got a great name, man. Hey? Mm-hmm. He says. It's just thinking about the game is Bongani. You did well in the pre-test. You got 6 out of 10. Hopefully you can get 10 out of 10 today.
Okay.
Okay, he says. Let's see. Let's start the clock. In what sport can players hit aces and backhands at Wimbledon?
Skip.
Tennis. What is 25 minus 6?
Skip.
19. True or false? Zambia shares a border with Angola.
True.
Correct. What do we call animals that only eat plants?
Herbivores.
Correct. On which ocean is the country Nigeria? Is it on the Pacific or the Atlantic Ocean?
Pacific Ocean.
No, it's the Atlantic Ocean. What is the name of the fairy in Peter Pan?
Tinkerbell.
Correct. True or false? The American White House is in New York City.
True.
It's false. It's in Washington. How many wheels does a tricycle have?
2.
3. In social media, what does the abbreviation IG stand for?
Skip.
Instagram. Bit of a rough round there for you, Bongani. You did better in the test round, but nonetheless, 300 Rand. You could still spend a healthy amount of that at the school tuck shop. Well done. 300 Rand, 3 correct answers. Bongani is 10 years old, goes to Village Waldorf School. What a great name, eh? Oh, some parents.
Start your day with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
All right, 6 minutes before 7 o'clock, not after 7 o'clock. Let's talk about black sheep thinking. Breakthrough ideas can look wrong at first, challenging long-held assumptions, stepping away from consensus. The whole idea with black sheep thinking really is to test popular thinking and conviction established over time. Black sheep thinking reshapes the world to deliver better outcomes. And that's really what Camisa Asset Management has done, investing differently, looking up and far ahead to think unconventionally and move away from the herd. So as you've heard for the last few weeks now, this is a series we've been looking at different leaps that have been made for the betterment of humanity. And so each week on 702 Breakfast, in our Black Sheep Thinking segment, powered by Camisa Asset Management, we've been sharing stories of people who chose a different path. This week's story comes from the world of public health and data. Think back to the year 1854. It's London, which is possibly the busiest city on earth at the time, but a deadly cholera outbreak began, and everybody thought cholera was spread through bad air, except for one doctor who thought the problem might lie elsewhere. His name, interestingly, was one Dr. John Snow. I want you to listen to this clip from the education channel, Learning Public Health, explaining exactly how Dr. John Snow, through black sheep thinking, not only dealt with the cholera outbreak in London in 1854, but helped reshape what we understand about those unseen grisly creepies.
In 1854, London faced a deadly cholera outbreak. People were dying, and everyone believed that cholera comes from bad air. But one person refused to believe it. Dr. John Snow, an anesthesiologist who had administered chloroform for the childbirths of Queen Victoria. He strongly believed that cholera comes from contaminated water, and not air. But there was no proof for his hypothesis, so he had to do something no one had did. He decided to map every death that occurred in the outbreak. He went house to house and collected information regarding the water source of each household and mapped them. Boom. He found a clear cluster of cholera deaths around a pump in Broad Street. Those households who used other water sources were largely unaffected. Snow then convinced the people to remove the pump handle. Once the handle was removed, the infections came down drastically. Later, it was found that the pump's well had become contaminated from a nearby sewer due to a cholera-infected baby's diaper. Authorities still doubted Dr. Snow, so he conducted a massive study called the Grand Experiment, comparing two water companies. One company took water upstream of River Thames and one from the downstream. The downstream water was sewage-filled and polluted, whereas the upstream was much cleaner. The result of this study was shocking. There were 9 times higher cholera deaths in homes supplied by water company taking water from the polluted downstream. This was an unbreakable proof, but the medical establishment refused to accept it until the Great Stink of 1858 in London. The conditions got so bad that the Parliament had to act. It led to building of better sewage infrastructure in London, and cholera virtually disappeared. Dr. John Snow was a true pioneer of modern epidemiology. He showed every disease has a cause, and prevention saves more lives than any medicine.
So, one of the things that, of course, emerged out of all of this is Western medicine's understanding of germ theory, those invisible, creepy little grizzlies. That was first understood through the efforts of Dr. John Snow. In places like West Africa, of course, practices of things like quarantine for diseases like smallpox and leprosy had long been understood even before the Europeans arrived. But that was the breakthrough in 1854 London, establishing the foundations for germ theory and, you could argue, modern epidemiology through data-driven health, thanks to Dr. John Snow. And that's what Black Sheep Thinking is all about. Sometimes progress begins with courage and the conviction to see things a little differently. That's Black Sheep Thinking. Listen again next week, Tuesday, for another story of unconventional thinking powered by Camisa Asset Management on 702.
702. Coming up, the big interview.
Today, of course, we are going to be looking at a story that is just difficult to grapple with if you look at it with a long view. Over time, as I explained yesterday, many a South African top cop has been in the dock for all the wrong reasons. And the list is long. Even Bekele, when he was National Police Commissioner, he left the office under disgrace. Yes, he was cleared a little later on, but questions were always swirling around him. Go back to Jeke Silibi, who was at some point the head of Interpol. Where did he end up? Behind bars. We saw the last National Police Commissioner, Major General Kehla Sithole, also being asked to leave office unceremoniously. And yet again, we are back there. The current top cop, General Fani Masimula, expected to be charged today. So our big interview will be focusing on, I suppose, the broader picture of policing in South Africa and how it is we got here. If we're expecting, we don't quite have bobbies on the beat here in South Africa, but if we're expecting the rank and file officer to do their bit, not tainted by corruption, well, the fish rots from the head, I'm afraid. It's 7 o'clock.
This is EWN.
The country's top cop appears in court on serious allegations, and authorities say more arrests are expected in the unstable city of Ekurhuleni. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. National Police Commissioner Fani Masimula is expected to make his first appearance today in the Pretoria Magistrates Court. Masimula is linked to the alleged irregular awarding of a controversial Medicare 24 multi-million rand tender. This emerged when suspected underworld figure Vusmuzikat Matlala and 14 police officers appeared in court last month. They are accused of fraud, corruption and money laundering on the awarding of the tender, which Matlala would later be flagged for. While the officers were granted bail of between 40 and 80,000 rand, Masimula did not appear in court at the time with the rest of the group. Khomotso Modise reports.
When the news of National Police Commissioner Fani Masimula's alleged involvement in the 360 million rand Medicare 24 tender scandal broke, questions were asked about what role he's alleged to have played and what the charges against him are. Police Minister Feroz Kachalia said Masimula has been charged for contravening the Public Finance Management Act and not corruption. This morning, Masimula will make his first court appearance where his charges will be confirmed on record. While he's the most senior officer to be charged in this case, he remains the country's top cop, with a decision on his status expected to be made after his appearance this morning. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News.
Meanwhile, at the same court, two people are expected to appear today on allegations of corruption related to a procurement scandal at Tembisa Hospital. An official at the facility and a Hawks officer face charges after allegedly soliciting and paying a bribe to quash an investigation into the 2 billion rand scandal. Whistleblower Babita Diokaran was shot dead after exposing widespread corruption at the hospital. Dimakatso Leshuru reports.
A provincial manager at the Tembisa Hospital, Zachariah Chisel, and Hawks Sergeant Babiti, currently on 5,000 rand bail each, are expected to make another appearance at the Pretoria Magistrates Court this morning. Accused number 2, Sergeant Zia, allegedly contacted his colleague, Captain Khwedi, on behalf of Chisele and attempted to arrange a bribe to quash an investigation against Chisele or turn him into a state witness with indemnity from prosecution. Unknowingly, the Hawks then set up an operation during which Chisele handed over 100,000 rand with the understanding the two officers would share the money, but the Hawks intervened, resulting in the arrest of both Chisele and Zie. Chisele has since paid over 13.5 million rand of his ill-gotten gains to the SIU. Dimakatso Leshuru, Eyewitness News.
And police have not ruled out the possibility of more arrests in the fraud and corruption case involving two senior City of Ekurhuleni officials. Suspended top Metro cop Julius Mkwanazi and city manager Kagiso Lerutla appeared in the Boksburg Magistrates Court yesterday. Mkwanazi is accused of helping Lerutla manipulate a 2019 speeding case, which allegedly to prevent him from appearing in court. It is further alleged that another person was paid to impersonate Lerutla in court and was sentenced to community service while posing as the city manager. NPA spokesperson Keza Khanyago says investigations are ongoing.
We are confident that we have got good information and we have got evidence that will lead us into a prosecution. We will go for the harshest sentences ever, and then we will then make up our case around those issues to make sure that the punishment is fair.
And the Lebanese President Joseph Aoun says talks with Israel aim to end hostilities and the occupation in southern Lebanon, even as militant group Hezbollah and its supporters rejected the negotiations. The Iran-backed group has sharply criticized the Lebanese government's negotiations with Israel, which are set to enter a second round on Thursday. After the first round of talks last week, U.S. President Donald Trump announced a 10-day truce, pausing more than 6 weeks of war between Hezbollah and Israel, an explosive front in the broader Middle East war. Despite that, Israel has violated the ceasefire with attacks on Lebanon and the south. Hezbollah launched strikes against Israel after the killing of Iran's supreme leader in February. Israeli attacks killed more than 2,300 people in Lebanon and displaced more than 1 million. Gold is trading at $4,812.53 an ounce. The rand is at 16.37 to the dollar, 22.13 to the pound, 19.28 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $94.81 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got heavy traffic volumes along the N12 West. That's SUR leaving Benoni. An accident reported right after Atlas Road. It is causing heavy traffic volumes. There's also queuing traffic in Boksburg along the N17 West between Heidelberg Road and Osborne Road. That's due to roadworks.
And in your sport, Wolves have officially been relegated from the English Premier League after West Ham's goalless game with Crystal Palace. Palace 2 points away from the relegation zone now. Springbok scrum half Grant Williams will join an undisclosed Japanese side in June. And tennis dominated the Laureus Awards last night with Alcaraz and Sabalenka named Sportsman and Woman of the Year.
And a cloudy day in store for Gauteng with scattered showers and thunder showers expected today. Johannesburg is at a low of 14 degrees, peaking at 23. Pretoria, 15 and 24. Vereniging, 14 and 24 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola is expected to make his first appearance today in the Pretoria Magistrates Court.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
What do you make of what's going on with our police? One of the big concerns, it would appear now, is officers in uniform on social media. A stern warning has been issued to the men and women in blue, members of the South African Police Services, to no longer post videos of themselves dancing or posing or doing any some such on social media. That perhaps the biggest concern the police should be seized with, as the National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola is expected to make his first appearance today in the Pretoria Magistrates Court. It also raises the question, how long then does he stay in the job once he is formally charged? We've heard already the police minister, or is that the acting police minister, pronouncing on the possible charges. In fact, I think we got most of this, in terms of the date at least, from him. So there he will be today, in a long line of infamy when it comes to our national police commissioners. Is it any wonder then that so many of us can tell stories of officers wanting bribes, of dockets that go missing, of cases that can be made to go away, of investigations that fail because the accused person paid the right amount to the right hands?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
So one of the things that has been fascinating to watch out of this war in Iran, there's been, what would you call it, a social media campaign stemming out of Iran. In terms of its official position, one can't quite be certain if it's sanctioned by the Iranian government, but no doubt they're loving it. There are all these videos. They're called diss tracks by the young people, and they're using Lego-type imagery to make fun of the American political establishment, mostly the US President Donald Trump, but also his coterie of what would I call them, sycophants who hang around the president. The latest is Pete Hegseth. He is really the defense minister, but he calls himself the Minister of War. Do you remember last week when he read what he thought was Ezekiel 25 verse 17, but he was quoting from a fictional Bible verse from the movie Pulp Fiction? Well, Iran has issued this diss track mocking Pete Hegseth.
What shall we do with the drunken Hegseth? What shall we do with the drunken Hegseth? What shall we do with the drunken Hegseth? Early in the morning, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises, way hey, and up she rises. Early in the morning, he was drinking on the fox set before the showtime. He was drinking on the fox set before the showtime. He was drinking on the fox set before the showtime. Early in the morning, carried at the strip club in his uniform. Carried at the strip club in his uniform. Carried at the strip club in his uniform. Early in the morning. Hey!
It's catchy. It's catchy. It's all the things that have been swirling around Pete Hegseth for a long time.
Misconduct at the hearing. He denied all the misconduct at the hearing. He denied all the misconduct at the hearings. Early in the morning. Crooked Pulp Fiction as Ezekiel 25:17. Quoted Pulp Fiction as Ezekiel 25:17. Quoted Pulp Fiction as Ezekiel 25:17. Early in the morning.
Early in the morning. I just absolutely loved that, and I thought it was just worth hearing because you got to have a little bit of fun, I suppose. That's all you can do at times. And of course, talking about American politics and the blending of faith and politics, Donald Trump, the US president today, will be taking part in a marathon Bible reading, and this is to mark 250 years of the presence of the Bible in America. It's a week-long event hosted at the Museum of the Bible. It started on the 19th of April and will run until the 25th. It comes also, of course, in the backdrop following that clash with Pope Leo over tensions tied to the war in Iran and the Middle East in general. Yesterday, we got the sad news of the passing of the veteran actress Cynthia Shange. She made history in 1972. You remember, of course, even beauty pageants were segregated during the years of apartheid. So there was the Miss South Africa contest, which could only be entered by white South Africans, and there was a Miss Black South Africa contest. In 1972, Cynthia Shange won that one and went on to represent South Africa at the Miss World competition in London. She later became an actress starring in movies like Udeliwe. She was in the Shaka Zulu series and even Mubango, where many knew her as Mankosi Buthelezi. I think it was Tandaza's mother that she played. Yesterday, we saw the current Ekurhuleni. What is going on in Tshwane and Ekurhuleni? The municipal manager, formerly the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer, appeared in court yesterday with the suspended Deputy Metro Police Chief, Julius Mkhwanazi, over a 29 incident. It had nothing to do with what they've been saying at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. See, Kagiso Lerutla is his name. He had a problem. He had a job interview. But on the day he was due to be interviewed by Ekurhuleni for the position of CFO. This is a guy with a master's, an MBA, I think, from Regenesis. He used to work at the Auditor General's office. The qualifications on paper look stellar. But he's got a problem. On the day he's meant to go have his job interview, he's due to appear in court on a speeding matter. So he and Julius Mkhwanazi, it is alleged, concocted a plan, an impersonator, to appear on his behalf in court whilst he goes to the job interview. And that's what they're accused of. Fraud, corruption, and defeating the ends of justice. So the impersonator had his ID and presented himself as Kagiso Lerutla. Whilst the guy went on to become CFO of Ekurhuleni, did a great job, by the way. Ekurhuleni had a clean audit 3 years in a row under his leadership, and then he got promoted to municipal manager. and now they're in court for all the wrong reasons. Yeah, ne? Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, has stepped down after 15 years at the helm. He's handed the baton to John Turnus, a longtime insider who has spent 25 years at Apple and currently leads hardware engineering. Tim Cook will officially, or at least John Turnus will officially take over as chief executive on the 1st of September.
702. Up next.
The big interview.
EWN Traffic.
Well, let's catch up with the roads. It's exactly 7:15. There are peak time delays everywhere around 702 Land. Amo?
That's correct, Bongani. On the M1 north bumper-to-bumper traffic between Boyson's Road and Car Street. Also, there's an accident between these 2 points right at the double-decker section, causing heavy delays. If you are traveling in Boksburg, queuing traffic along the N17 West, this is between Heidelberg Road and Osborne Road. Roadworks are causing these delays along with peak time pressure. If you are traveling on the N3 South, queuing traffic out of the Buccleuch interchange towards Marlborough Drive, please be on the lookout there. And then traffic lights are out of order in Santon at Rivonia Road and Fredman Drive. Totally blank there. And I'm also being told by our 702 lenders that the traffic lights at Greyston and the M1 off-ramp are flashing. So please be on the lookout there and drive with care. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
You may or may not know the difference between a contour brush and a bronzer brush, but you do know a great OUTsurance deal when you see one, right? Well, get a car insurance quote now, and if OUTsurance can't save you money, you can ask them for 500 Rand or 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free with the same insurer for 3 years. So you can get savings or cash. SMS out to 45142. So that's out to 45142. OUTsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
At Fly Sapphire, we know that some of the most important lessons take place beyond the classroom, on sports fields, stages, and tours. And so, we've brought back our School Booster Initiative, where 10 schools stand to win 10 domestic return flights each, helping their pupils fly further, dream bigger, and do what they love. Visit flysapphire.co.za. Tell us how these flights could benefit your school, and you could be a winner. Fly Sapphire, for the love of flying. T's and C's apply.
Whenever she fell or got hurt, a kiss always took the pain away. Honey and hugs helped at first when the coughing started. It's just a cold. Keep her warm and she'll be fine, we thought. I wish I could kiss RSV away too. Respiratory syncytial virus is a contagious virus that can lead to serious illnesses, including lung infections. Fortunately, protection for infants against RSV is now available in South Africa. Ask your healthcare provider about keeping your baby protected during their first RSV season.
What does real financial success look like when it's shared? Well, catch 702 Drive with John Perlman in conversation with PPS. It's this Thursday, discussing their record 2025 profit share. The Professional Provident Society has allocated an impressive 6.88 billion rand in profit share to its members, a significant step up from the year before. Find out how PPS continues to put graduate professionals at the center of everything they do. That's 702 Drive with John Perlman in conversation with PPS this Thursday, only on 702. PPS is a licensed life insurer, controlling company, and authorized FSP.
702.
The big interview
with Bongani Bingwa.
Right, on to this now. We've already told you that the National Police Commissioner, Fani Masimula, is expected to make his first appearance today in the Pretoria Magistrates Court as an accused person. And it made me think of tracing South Africa's police services going all the way back to 1994. It started what was meant to be a turning point, a shift from the apartheid era enforcement to a constitutional mandate rooted in human rights. That promise, I would say, has been chipped away over time, scandal after scandal, and the picture that's emerged is an institution battling not only from within but with itself. The headlines today are dominated not by crime fought but by crime alleged. To the very top, senior officers arrested, tenders manipulated, whispers of cartels operating inside the force, inside the system meant to stop them. And we've seen, of course, the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry peeling back layer after layer, exposing political interference, the alleged abuse of intelligence funds, and a network of influence stretching from boardrooms to crime scenes. I've invited two guests today. Henny van Vieren is a director of Open Secrets and, of course, an author. And a good friend, Stephen Grootes, the author of a number of books himself, but also the host of The Money Show. A very good morning to you both, and thank you for your time. Stephen, I've invited you because, of course, you have watched South African politics over a long time in your various roles in your career as a journalist. Once again, here we are, a top cop in the dock.
Indeed, Bongani, how's it? And morning, Henny. Yeah, it is extraordinary how this has happened. And I think what this tells you, and Johnny Steinberg's written very well about it, as he always does, about how deeply intertwined our politics and our police have become. And it's really about control. The National Party government was never going to allow a sort of independent police service. And it seems to me, and it has for probably 20 years, Thabo Mbeki wasn't really going to allow the same thing either for various reasons. And we saw what happened during the Jackie Selebi fiasco, really. I mean, I remember asking Jackie Selebi when the charges against him were swirling, are you going to resign? He was so angry that I'd asked the question. He didn't even answer. And I was amazed that he felt he could respond like that. And that was because he had political support. I think the situation is slightly different. I don't think Masemola has that kind of support from President Cyril Ramaphosa, but it is all about the intertwining, the sort of politicization of the police leadership. And I realize that there are lots of reasons to be very critical of the president and how slowly he's moved here. I think he should be moving more quickly around Masemola. But with all of these commissions, we have a golden chance, perhaps a once in a sort of three-generation opportunity to untangle the politics and the police. And I'm hoping that the Madlanga Commission recommendations insist that the police leadership and our politics be divorced from each other, and that the President and Parliament act on those, because that's the only way to stop this from happening again, and from you and I, as my hair gets grayer, Bongani, talking about it in 10 years' time.
Henny van Vieren, let me bring you into the conversation. Stephen Grootes has just mentioned these hands are clean, Jackie Selebi. Once again, as I said to Stephen, we've got a top cop in the dock. I mean, this is just unbelievable.
Yeah, morning, Bongani, morning to Stephen and listeners. Indeed, I think that sometimes we have this deep sense of shock when we hear what's happening within SAPS. But as you say, this has been going on for a very long time, and with successive administrations showing a sort of a similar type of practice. And that's it's elements of both providing protection on the one hand to corrupt cops, but I think we then see it moving beyond a kind of protection for political ends to a kind of a tolerance of corruption because it meets their own political ends. And then I think what we're seeing increasingly as well is an actual involvement between political elites, organized crime networks, and leadership of the SAPS in corruption and in fact being in cahoots. But if we go back, we shouldn't forget, as we often hear on various other radio stations, how former President Thabo Mbeki opines about governance in South Africa. He in fact set the bar for interference, as Stephen had pointed out, when it came to the leadership of SAPS and protecting them from investigation into corruption. It was Thabo Mbeki and his Minister of Justice, Bridget Mabandla, in 2007, who suspended Busi Pikoli, who was the head of the National Director of Public Prosecutions at the time, because he was about to institute charges against Selebi. And of course, as we know, Selebi thereafter, once the charges were instituted, was found guilty and charged not only with corruption but sentenced to 15 years in prison. And I think it's not so much only the crime of the crime involving the chief of the police, but it's also the manner in which politicians have interfered and tried to protect. And that is the real story. That's the thing that I think we need to be paying much closer attention to.
Look, Stephen, if we go back to Thabo Mbeki and the appointment of Jackie Selebi, one of the issues there, of course, was that he wasn't a career cop. And we saw the same kind of criticism leveled when Ria Piecha was appointed as the National Police Commissioner. And the thinking would be, one would assume, that if you bring in a career cop, somebody who's been in the service, who's worn the blue uniform, perhaps things might be better. We really haven't seen much of a change, because Masimula today joins a long list of names in infamy of top cops who've had to leave under a cloud, if not, of course, with direct accusations against them. How do you think politically this ought to be handled? As you say, we've got perhaps a once-in-a-generation chance to fix this, but, established habits are hard to break.
They are indeed, and I think while I think it is better to have someone from inside rather than someone from outside, we must also understand that a corrupt system is going to lead to corrupt people leading it. It will be almost impossible for someone who is clean and not politically aligned to become a national police commissioner if they've been inside the system. I must say, though, the fact that our national politics is becoming so much more contested does, to my mind, and he may have a different view, make it more likely that, in fact, we'll get a neutral and a politically independent or not aligned one way or another police commissioner. Because if the ANC or the leader of the ANC is thinking, gosh, my party might not be the biggest party in 10 years' time, I need to make sure that the police commissioner is at the very least going to be fair on me if I lose power, well, maybe they'll appoint someone who is more neutral. That sort of political hold that we've had with one party over the SAPS for so long is sort of being broken. It can get much more complicated than that, and they can force trading and patronage. But the fact is that the system that we have will probably produce corrupt leadership. I mean, Commissioner Daphne Mokoena, who's in Mpumalanga, and she's been on suspension for months, years. I mean, she has a big go at Masemola on Sunday. Crocodile tears. She's on suspension for demanding over R1 million in gifts to celebrate her appointment. She's demanding gifts from, rank and file police officers who put their lives on the line every day. And she, if I remember, wanted a Smeg kettle. I mean, Bongani, what kind of institution has a culture that allows someone to think they can do that? And that's the problem that we're dealing with. I do think, though, that there are things you can do to at least improve it. And I think crucially, we're going to enter a phase where more than one political entity will probably have to sort of agree or approve on the National Police Commission, the appointment process.
Yeah.
Unless we can come up, and Henny may have some ideas, with a system that is, this is hard to do, that allows us to have a completely neutral person, which means the politicians are not involved. But if the politicians are not involved, it's undemocratic.
Henny, let me bring you then into that conversation. I mean, is Stephen being overly optimistic here about this once-in-a-generation chance? Because you could equally hold the view that because the leadership, as you've suggested, has been so corrupt over such a long time, if you appoint somebody neutral, as it were, well, there's no guarantee they won't come after you, especially if you lose power.
Yeah, look, I do agree that we really do have a golden opportunity. I think that Feroz Kochalia, as the Minister of Police, I think having come out from trying to design the country's anti-corruption strategy, the head of the anti-corruption advisory body for the president until recently, has a good sense of the way in which politics and organized crime mix in this country. Let me just quickly say, Bongani, I mean, I take Stephen's point about political contestation between parties, maybe producing the sort of, more the possibility for more independent-minded national commissioners. I do want to say, though, that very often it is the contestation within parties. It was precisely that creates the problem. It was precisely the Thabo Mbeki's fear of the army, some would argue, that meant that he protected Celebi because he was worried about if the army would turn against him when Jacob Zuma was ascendant. Similarly, we've seen the kind of protection that's been afforded to the army chief and others who are involved in corruption in South Africa because there's a fear that the current president doesn't have sufficient control over the organized crime forces within the police. So the problems are deep and they are structural within the security services that have been criminalized in terms of the top leadership. It's not only the police, but it's the army as well. Do we need a process? Do we and can we develop a process? I think it must be a process that has to involve politicians. It is about our role as civil society in holding those politicians to account, through the democratic process, and having systems within the police as well, in terms of there are a multitude of anti-corruption units, but they aren't properly resourced, they aren't properly mandated to deal with corruption in the top leadership, and those are things that have to change. This is where Madlanga needs to make serious recommendations, and President Ramaphosa cannot sit on them like he sat on the Zondo Commission's recommendations. He has to act on them because the crisis is deep and runs all the way to the top.
Well, you certainly can't sit on Masemola being at that or in that position following today's appearance. My thanks to you both. Stephen Grootes, the host of The Money Show here on 702. Henny van Vieren is a director of Open Secrets. South Africa, we have a problem.
EWN Business.
Mateo Kharipe here with business news. The rand weaker ahead of the inflation announcement, Mateo, and I wonder how much will that also take into consideration what's unfolding in the Gulf?
Yeah, I think it's the first indications of just how much South Africa has been impacted by that oil crisis. The rand starting the week on the back foot ahead of the release of the domestic inflation data. Reports that the Strait of Hormuz had again been closed sent oil prices higher and weighed on appetite for risk assets, especially in emerging economies. Now, the rand is trading at 16 rand 37 against the dollar, weaker than its previous close. Stats SA will release March inflation data on Wednesday, with analysts polled by Reuters expecting it to inch up to 3.1% year on year from 3% in February. The expected slight increase in inflation would be driven mainly by higher fuel prices, but still contained by the easing food inflation in the market. As a net fuel importer, South Africa is heavily exposed to a spike in global energy prices.
And all of this, of course, will also affect mining.
Definitely. Sibanye-Stillwater is seeking favorable conditions from the European Union to shield Eurozone's first large-scale lithium mining and processing venture. The market for the lucrative battery material has been hit by price volatility and unfair competition. Diversified miner Sibanye-Stillwater is advancing its Calibre lithium project in Finland in phases as it seeks to manage risk in a volatile pricing environment for the battery metal.
What's the rand worth today?
16 rand 36 at this hour, 19 rand 27 against the euro, and at 22 rand 11 cents against the British pound, weaker against all three major currencies. At $4,790 an ounce, that's the price of gold at this hour, down 0.5%, while platinum is at $2,079. Brent crude at $94 a barrel. More business after 8.
Time now for the latest eyewitness news, brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 rand. It's a completely new problem, and money is at the heart of it. Swisa Zulu, you tell the story.
Well, Bongani, good morning. A lack of resources has been described as a major obstacle in the fight against malaria in sub-Saharan Africa. CEO of Goodbye Malaria, Sherwin Charles, says South Africa faces a slightly different situation because it has not relied on US support to control the disease, unlike several other countries in the region. The Gauteng Health Department has warned of a surge in cases, with 414 infections and 11 fatalities recorded since the start of the year. Charles links the rises in cases into flooding in South Africa and neighboring countries, saying the infections recorded in Gauteng are most likely imported.
Many of which would have come from our neighbors, primarily Mozambique, and or for Gauteng coming from a increase in the number of cases in Limpopo and in Mpumalanga. So the transmission may have taken place in those provinces, but the cases being treated in Gauteng.
Health officials have warned Gauteng residents to be wary of malaria symptoms, including fever, headaches, muscle pain and fatigue, and they've been urged to seek medical attention. The Madlanga Commission has clarified that a police task team established to investigate matters that come out of the inquiry is operating independently. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola last month established this specialized team to monitor evidence and referrals emerging from the commission. The team has made some high-profile arrests, including that of Ekurhuleni top cop Julius Mkwanazi and Sergeant Mfani Nkosi. The Commission spokesperson, Jeremy Michaels.
The Commission is making this clarification because recently there have been media reports to the effect that the so-called Madlanga task team has arrested certain people. This is likely to lead to the wrong perception that Justice Mbuyisele Madlanga or the Commission he chairs is arresting people. The truth is that it is an SAPS task team that has been arresting people. Justice Madlanga himself is concerned by the possible perception.
The ANC says it will be going on a roadshow to metro municipalities to showcase the work it has done to improve service delivery as it gears up for its local government election campaign. ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula suggests failures, particularly in Johannesburg, began when the city started being governed by a coalition of parties. Mbalula says the party's campaign will focus on winning an outright majority. Lindsay Dentlinker has more.
The ANC says it's not its preference to govern with other parties, and the instability in Johannesburg with 6 mayors since 2021 has led to the many service delivery problems. Secretary General Fikile Mbalula says the party is in favour of a legislative proposal to introduce a threshold for smaller parties to enter councils.
We have made people in this country with 1-seat mayors. Do we have a choice? We don't. We have to sing along.
The party says interventions it has introduced as part of its campaign to fix municipalities, including removing mayors, have already led to better outcomes.
Everywhere else where you are in charge, people judge you by the standards of what you have done and your good intentions.
Mbalula says the ANC is unfussed by the DA's Helen Zille drawing attention to service delivery failures in Johannesburg through quirky videos, saying he considers those to be a public relations stunt rather than an electoral campaign. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
And Pope Leo has condemned exploitation and corruption by the rich and powerful during a visit to Angola. The American Pope is on his 11-day tour of Africa. He visited the city of Sairimo in Angola yesterday before returning to Luanda in the evening. The city sits close to Angola's largest diamond mine, Katoka, which extracts around 75% of the country's diamonds. But its riches benefit mainly the political and economic elite, as well as foreign companies, while around a third of its people live beyond the World Bank poverty line. Pope Leo spoke about violence in Angola and the exploitation and defrauding of people by the powerful and rich. He will travel to Equatorial Guinea today to wrap up his tour. A cloudy day in store for Gauteng with scattered showers expected today. The temperatures are at lows of 14 and 15 degrees, peaking at highs between 23 and 24.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident in Edenville along the R24 East. It happened right after Edenville Road. It's causing heavy traffic volumes coming out of Edenville. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North between the Airlines interchange and Van Buren Road.
The top story this hour, a lack of resources has been described as a major obstacle in the fight against malaria in sub-Saharan Africa.
30-year-old Dineo knows all about saving on her car insurance with Outsurance.
I'm saving 1,094 rands.
That's an unbelievable 1,094 rand monthly saving on Dineo's 2025 Kia Sonet. And she'll get an out bonus.
If I'm claim-free for 3 years, then I get an out bonus back.
Ready to see how much money Outsurance could save you? SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Licensed insurer in FSP. TCs and information online.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
Your reaction, Rebecca, to this explanation by the Minister of Social Development. The reason she decided to register these vehicles in her children's names was to safeguard them in case there's an order freezing the assets. Did that come as a shock to you?
Yes, it came as a shock, Clement. So from what I understand, by the way, Minister Tolashe has not actually appeared before the Integrity Commission yet. She's appearing before them on Wednesday. This is the letter that she's written, and she seems to have sort of strategically leaked it to various media outlets. I imagine in the hope that South Africans will read it and find it a convincing excuse. It is not a convincing excuse for a number of reasons.
Rebecca Davis, who is a senior journalist with the Daily Maverick.
Clements Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
Joburg is more than just a city. It's an unmistakable rhythm that brings us all together. So in celebration of this, 702 has partnered with Jozi My Jozi to unite the whole of Joburg in the 702. Jozi, walk the talk. Yes, the time of the year is here. Babize bonke. It's Sunday, the 26th of July. Make a date, Sunday, July 26th. We're walking through the iconic Joburg CBD, and we want you to join us and be a part of something special. Entries will be opening soon, so in the meantime, stay tuned to 702 and get ready for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the city of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for our Josie. Babize bonke. More on primemediaplus.com.
That's Liesel before she got naked. Liesel checked her insurance premium and got angrier than the time a teenager called her Tunny. So Liesel got naked and got comprehensive car insurance and a way lower premium in seconds, all on the Naked app. There we go, Liesel. Get a car and home insurance quote now at naked.insure and see how much you can save when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
Payroll, VAT, stock arriving before money does, public holidays, late payments, that one expense you didn't plan for. Sound familiar? It's not you. It's just business. Bridgement gives you a cash flow safety net for when timing gets in the way. Find out more at bridgement.com.
Bridgement. Business funding simplified.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Hi, Bongani and 702 listeners. This story with Kagiso Lurutla is very strange because if he had an interview, all he had to do was reschedule it. I mean, this is a very senior position and it's very rare to find many applicants that meet your requirements. So if you've got a few, you will accommodate them. I mean, he could have asked for a different date. So, I mean, this guy is clearly inherently corrupt because he could have dealt with this matter in a far different way than he.
Good morning, Bongani. On the CFO, Mr. Mnisi, I think you have been hard on him for quite a while now. The young man has been good, smart and eloquent, top of his game. By and large, as long as you are still working for a public office, a mistake will be there, one or two. A mistake will be there. But for the issue of conflict of interest, to me, he was correct. As long as it has nothing to do with Swane, then he's still on the right path. Yes, unless it interferes with Swane. But for a person to help someone who's outside, a friend for that matter, how do you want to judge him? And I'm very, very worried with the level of jealousy, which has just developed against this smart young man I call on South Africans. Thank you, Hodzo.
Morning, Bongani. I think Mr. Munisi is more or less like Bafada Bahungelo and Thabo Bester. They are so eloquent in their speeches. If you are weak, they can persuade you. This is Yama from Rodiport. Bye.
Yeah, Lebo from Rudderport, I suspect you are absolutely right. I mean, if Hotzo's voice note is anything to go by, well, thank goodness it's not the Hotzo Commission of Inquiry, because Hotzo says there's nothing wrong if you are the CFO to have conversations with your friends as you sit on the bid adjudication committee about companies and tenders they want. We're all just jealous, he says. How much of that kind of response is informed by even our earlier conversation of the top cop, yet another one in the dock, as we shall see this morning. If you've just joined us and you're wondering what we're talking about, we were speaking a little earlier of this Ekurhuleni chap. So unfortunate he was. He had a job interview on the same day he was meant to appear in court over a speeding fine. One voice note suggesting, why couldn't he have just postponed the interview, because he would have presumably known about his court appearance quite well in advance. I hear you, but how do you tell your prospective bosses, oh, I can't come to the interview on that day because I'm going to court?
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance, a chance for you to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then a little later 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. Let's get today's answer coming from Petunia in Pretoria. Petunia, Do give us today's answer, please.
Today's answer is 2003.
2003 is today's answer. And tell me, Petunia, you know, of course, you always stand a better chance if you have got yourself a quote from OUTsurance. Did you?
I do.
You biscuit. 1,000 Rand is coming your way. All thanks to 702 and OUTsurance. Thank you, Petunia, who says today's answer is 2003. Pray tell, what's the question? Call us on 011 8830 702.
EWN Sport.
Ow! Cindy Paluta, no more of that sound
Oh, shame.
in the Premier League?
Well, still make that sound elsewhere. Just not when supporting Wolves in the Premier League because they won't be there next season. Officially relegated after 8 years of top-flight football. Last night's goalless game between relegation-threatened West Ham and Crystal Palace confirmed Wolves' drop. West Ham has now moved 2 points clear of the bottom three, but in the fight to avoid the drop, the Hammers do have the toughest final 5 fixtures, having to still play Everton, Brentford, Arsenal, Newcastle and Leeds, while Tottenham Hotspur, the other side that they're battling with at the moment to get out of the relegation, still have to play Wolves, Villa, Leeds, Everton and Chelsea. Speaking of Chelsea, they're away at Brighton tonight. Only 1 point separates the sides, with Brighton, a win for Brighton would push them into the 6th. Springboks scrum half Grant Williams will leave the Sharks when his contract ends in June. He's joining a Japanese side. The side has not been disclosed. World tennis number 2, Carlos Alcaraz, still struggling with a wrist injury that puts him in doubt for the French Open, where he's the defending champion. Alcaraz says if he's not 100% recovered, he would rather miss the slam than do long-term damage to his wrist. He was speaking at the Laureus Awards last night, where he was named Sportsman of the Year, with Arena Sabalenka named Sportswoman. PSG won Team of the Year. Rory McIlroy's 2025 Masters moment lands him Comeback of the Year. Formula One champion Lando Norris was Breakthrough of the Year. And at the IPL, the Mumbai Indians cruising to a 99-run win over Gujarat Titans. De Kock on the winning side only made 13 from 11 as he was caught and bowled by Kagiso Rabada. Rabada finished with 3 wickets on the night. Later today, Sunrisers Hyderabad against Delhi Capitals. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Moving to a bigger office space can be expensive. Thanks to My Way Business Insurance, I get to save up to 20% on my insurance premiums every month. Plus, I get My Business Assist, which helps me with marketing, legal, and admin services. Saving money while growing my business is a great win for me.
Switch to My Way Business Insurance and save up to 20% on your monthly premiums. Real businesses, real savings. Call us on 0860 646464 today for a quote. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. Standard rates and T's and C's apply.
Stroke, paint, color, protect, and admire. From roof paint to exterior textures and interior silk, Warrior Paints has it all. The product range and stylish colors are amazing. And what's more, Warrior Paints has crushed prices for incredible savings. Enjoy that good old-fashioned personal service you deserve. For price, quality, variety, and service, Warrior Paints is streets ahead. Warrior Paints. Affordable, lasting luxury.
Bar Black Sheep. Have you any wool? Yes, sir, yes, sir. More than 3 bags full. We think beyond today, tomorrow, more. Look up, look far ahead. We may choose to leave the herd. There's greener grass where fewer care to tread. Bar Black Sheep. Proof of what we do. Better for clients for over 20 years. Courage, we hold the course for you. Bar Black Sheep. If you want more wool, it takes black sheep thinking. Camissa Asset Management. Invest different. Camissa Asset Management is a licensed FSP.
EWN Traffic.
13 minutes before 8 o'clock, this EWN Traffic is brought to you by the House of Citroen. The all-new Citroen Basalt is here. Book a test drive at citroen.co.za. There are issues in 4 ways. Amma, what's going on?
That's correct, Bongani. This is due to an accident along Winnie Mandela Drive. It happened near Leslie Avenue, is causing delays from Witkoppen Road. And travelling in 4 ways, do expect heavy traffic volumes approaching the intersection of Winnie Mandela Drive and Montecasino Boulevard. That's due to faulty traffic lights there. Pointsmen are on duty, but we're still experiencing heavy traffic volumes. And then travelling on the N1 North towards 4 ways, queuing traffic between Beyers Nodia Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive. Travelling in the city of Tshwane, bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N1 North between John Forster Drive and the Flying Saucer Interchange. An accident reported right near Rigel Avenue is also causing heavy delays from the Flying Saucer turnoff. And then heading towards Monument Park, we've got an accident reported on the N14 North. It's right near Euphues Road. Delays from Littleton Road. Please approach with care. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The all-new Citroen Basalt is here. With keyless entry, wireless Apple and Android CarPlay, it's made to look good and make life easy. And that 470-litre boot, it's ready for every outfit change and then some. The all-new Citroen Basalt Coupe SUV from 354,000 Rand. Register now for the limited launch deal assist of up to 40,000 Rand. Book a test drive today at citroen.co.za. T's and C's apply.
It's another girl.
Families multiply, fees shouldn't. With Ultimate Banking, you get support for every chapter. Get discounted banking for your spouse and give each of your children a head start with a Mega U account. Because as your family grows, your banking should keep up. Apply online. Your story matters. ABSA. Terms and conditions apply. ABSA is an authorized financial services provider.
35 African utility CEOs have been confirmed for Enlit Africa's invitation-only CEO Forum on unbundling, prosumer management and financial sustainability. This executive experience features project briefings, deal rooms and ministerial dialogues happening from the 19th to the 21st of May at the Cape Town International Convention Centre.
Did you know that you are entitled to buy a new, demo, or used car without a service or a maintenance plan? You can also use an independent workshop for all servicing and maintenance needs without your warranty being automatically voided. Independent workshops are entitled to all technical info and parts needed to work on your vehicle, so you can shop around for the best price and service. Right to Repair. It's your choice. Visit righttorepair.org.za.
702.
What's the question?
For 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance, please tell me what's the question. If the answer is 2003. Let's go to Bukhulu in Braamfontein. Bukhulu, what's the question?
Hi, Bongani. It's what year did Nina Simone die?
Yeah, man. Hey? 2003 on this day. She was a singer, a songwriter, an accomplished pianist and an activist. And she passed away on this day in the year 2003. I was asking you the question a little earlier on, who's the most self-assured person you know? I think Nina Simone would be right up there. Bukhulu, no matter for you. 2,000 Rand is coming your way, all thanks to Outsurance and 702. Well done, mate.
Men are going to be a bit nervous of you, aren't they?
They are very.
Do you manage to put them at ease?
No.
And you don't try too hard?
No, I don't try. Yes, I try hard, but I refuse to cook or to clean.
So they've got to take you as you are.
They've got to take me as I am and recognize that I'm a star as well as a woman, and they have to deal with the two. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. My baby just cares for me.
Oh man, Nina Simone left an indelible mark on the music scene, whether it's jazz, whether it's the blues. Certainly, American music was richer for the name Nina Simone. Now, you may or may not know the difference between a timing belt and a timing chain, but you do know a great OutSurance deal when you see one, right? Well, get a car insurance quote now, and if OutSurance can't save you money, ask for 500 Rand or 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free with the same insurer for 3 years. Get savings or cash. SMS out to 45142. So that's out to 45142. OutSurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
702
702. What's gone viral?
with Kabazela.
Let's get now with the world of viral content. As I've explained, what we do is perhaps to lighten things up when you've got the country's top cops in the dock. Maybe at times it's time to talk about what's going viral on social media. Good morning, Kabazela.
Good morning to you, Bella.
Well, my phobia is well known, well documented.
Yes.
Things with
It is,
beaks
it is.
and claws, the descendants of the dinosaurs. But somebody is scared of what, Kabazela?
Yeah, this was a weird one, hey? Fructophobia. Do you know what fructophobia is? So it's basically an intense, irrational fear of, wait for it, fruits, often stemming from concerns about seeds germinating inside the body, the disgust of the smell, the texture, etc., etc. So I've never met anybody who has this kind of a phobia, but the video we are referring to is basically a woman who has this fear, and how her partner, when he met her, he discovered this about her, and how he's helped her overcome this fear. So, you know, he helps her cut up the fruits, like sort of feel it a little bit, and then she tastes it, and she overcomes it quite easily, I would say. So that was quite interesting to see how you can overcome your fears. But I wanted to find out about the phobias and fears that our 702 family have, but specifically how that phobia or fear originated. So like if we take yours, for example, the fear of birds, the phobia of birds, did you have a traumatic experience when you were young, I don't know, adult phase that led to this fear developing and becoming very intense? And what are you doing, Bongles, to overcome this fear? Maybe
Staying
we need
away
to
from
get you a
birds.
Polly the parrot.
No, just staying
to
away
come
from
sit
birds.
on your shoulder in the studio.
Wow. Wow.
Just sort of sit there, but you can stroke it and overcome that fear. But seriously though, how did your phobia begin, and what are you doing to try and overcome it?
I've told the story before. Mine began with a book, a story in a book. A kid who was locked up in a chicken coop as punishment by his father in LA, and these things were clucking at him and poking at him the whole night, and I couldn't imagine anything more awful. I had nightmares as a teenager after reading that book, and I've never looked back. All right, have you got an unusual phobia? And how have you managed to overcome it, to at least become more comfortable based on your fears? And very quickly, Kabazela, when you travel, how do you make sure it's your suitcase?
Maybe we should look at what this family does. So the fear of losing your suitcase, perhaps, eh? What they've done is they've taken really ugly photographs of themselves, so them pulling really, really funny faces, and they've made that into like a stretchable material that you just put over your suitcase. And what it does is obviously protects the suitcase, but it helps you identify the suitcase from a mile away. And nobody's going to take a suitcase with a really, really ugly looking face of yourself, right? So I wanted to find out from our 702 family, have you had your suitcase taken off the conveyor belt when you're waiting for your baggage to be delivered? And what do you do? What do you put on your suitcase to help identify it easy, to say, that's my suitcase, hands off?
That's what's gone viral with Kabazela.
702.
702.
feedback.
With Siamtanda Matiso.
Siamtanda Matiso in the hot seat. I'm looking at some of the comments, Siamtanda, from our YouTube feed. By the way, you can watch us live on YouTube. I think there's just under 1,000 people watching at the moment on our YouTube feed, and people making lots of comments talking about how well-dressed we are.
Yep.
Somebody says, Bongani is the most well-assured person that they can think of. Loving Nina Simone. Snakes are everyone's worst fear. Yes, it's known that I'm scared of birds. But Chimbuzi said, Bongani is scared of birds, but perhaps loves a juicy drumstick.
Oh.
So you'll eat chicken, but you're scared of birds.
Just scared of birds.
Is their point.
Such a good question,
Aye,
though.
aye, aye.
Notable
What
thing.
do you have?
I'm also scared of mice, by the way, so that you know. It's called masophobia. Just learned about it just now. It's
Masophobia.
Masophobia. Put a rat here, I will scream and lose my mind. Anyways, Bongs, many answered your question. Who's the self-assured person you know? And this is on the back of after finding out that Ekurhuleni met Deputy Metro Police Chief Julius Mkwanazi helped Kagiso Lekgutla, who is the municipal manager, to get an impersonator as he went on to an interview, and the impersonator went into court.
It is alleged.
It is alleged, yes. But many people actually are saying, have mentioned their family members, their siblings, their partners as those self-assured people. But what's notable, Wongs, is there are people who said actually they've been told that they are self-assured and they didn't notice that, and they think that it's just a cover-up to just cover their nerves. So they feel like they're confident and they put up this act, but it's really not them being self-assured or them knowing that they are self-assured.
So I think part of it is, I mean, if you really break down self-assured, you are assuring yourself.
Right.
And I think at times it can be a fake it till you make it thing, because you're saying despite the challenges, the circumstances, perhaps even my nervousness, trepidation or fear, I'm going to say it with my chest.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to walk and stand on business. Who's the most self-assured person you know? Nina Simone is certainly a contender. It's 8 o'clock.
This is EWN.
The country's top cop appears in court on serious allegations, and SAA executives are expected to face MPs today as the airline continues to experience more issues. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola is expected to make his first court appearance today in the Pretoria Magistrates Court. Masemola is linked to the alleged irregular awarding of a controversial Medicare 24 multi-million rand tender. This emerged when suspected underworld figure Vusmuziket Matlala and 14 police officials appeared in the Pretoria Magistrates Court last month. They are accused of fraud, corruption and money laundering on the awarding of the tender, which Matlala would later be flagged for. While the officers were granted bail of between 40 and 80,000 rand, Masemola did not step into the dock with them at the time. Khomoso Modise reports.
When the news of National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola's alleged involvement in the 360 million rand Medicare 24 tender scandal broke, questions were asked about what role he's alleged to have played and what the charges against him are. Police Minister Feroz Kachalia said Masemola has been charged for contravening the Public Finance Management Act and not corruption. This morning, Masemola will make his first court appearance where his charges will be confirmed on record. While he's the most senior officer to be charged in this case, he remains the country's top cop, with a decision on his status expected to be made after his appearance this morning. Khomoso Modise, Eyewitness News.
The NPA has approached the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department to find out whether its suspended Deputy Chief Julius Mkwanazi was authorized to have live ammunition. Mkwanazi was arrested at the weekend after being found with a large quantity of the ammunition at his home, despite being on full suspension. He appeared in the Boksburg Magistrates Court yesterday alongside Ekurhuleni City Manager Kagiso Lerutla. Both men are facing charges of fraud, corruption and defeating the ends of justice. The NPA says Mkhwanazi is accused of assisting the Rutla to manipulate a 2019 speeding case in order to prevent him from appearing in court. Alfred Mushwana reports.
Ekurhuleni Metro Police Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi was placed on suspension in November last year following corruption allegations that surfaced during the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. While he continues to receive his monthly salary during his full suspension, he was required to return all EMPD-issued equipment to the Metro. Police spokesperson Athlenda Mate says it's concerning that Mkhwanazi still had a large amount of live ammunition at his home, even though he was asked to return everything.
We can confirm that Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi was found with a number of 9mm, more than 100 9mm rounds of ammunition, as well as about 15 R5 rounds of ammunition.
While Mkhwanazi's arrest is in no way linked to the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, he's expected to soon return to the hot seat. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News in Boksburg.
National carrier SAA returns to Parliament today to face MPs about its latest financials and audit findings. The airline's appearance before the Portfolio Committee on Transport follows the resignation of Group CEO John Lamola and 3 non-executive directors just this month. They left as SAA continues to struggle financially. Babalondenza reports.
While SAA has managed to make a profit over the last 2 financial years, the national airline's future financial sustainability remains in question. SAA officially exited business rescue in April 2021 after a 17-month restructuring process which saw thousands of retrenchments. The airline has now reported a 155 million rand net profit and an operating profit of more than 300 million rand, although most of the profit was propped up by one-off asset disposals. Professor John Lamola's resignation, announced on the 10th of April, has also left more questions than answers for the airline, which is dealing with a deepening financial crisis. Lamola will step down at the end of April, 4 years after leading the airline out of business rescue. The Auditor General is also expected to give MPs details about how SAA has performed in its latest audit and annual report. Babalon Danza, Eyewitness News.
And UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has denied misleading Parliament over the appointment of Peter Mendelsohn as the country's envoy to Washington. He's instead accused officials of deliberately hiding information that the Labour politician had been denied security clearance. Starmer, who is struggling to contain the fallout over his decision to name him to the post, admitted he had been wrong to appoint the 72-year-old. Mendelsohn was already a known associate of late U.S. sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and had resigned from earlier Labour government posts. Starmer addressing Parliament again yesterday, Parliament yesterday about the deepening political issue.
I do not accept that I could not have been told about the recommendation before Peter Mandelson took up his post. I absolutely do not accept that the then Cabinet Secretary, an official, not a politician, when carrying out his review, could not have been told that UKSB recommended that Peter Mandelson should be denied developed vetting clearance.
But UK opposition leader Kemi Badenoch argues that the Prime Minister deliberately turned a blind eye to the entire situation.
The Right Honourable Gentleman's defence is that he, a former Director of Public Prosecutions, is so lacking in curiosity that he chose to ask no questions about the vetting process. He asked no questions about Mandelson's relationship with Epstein. He asked no questions about the security risk Mandelson posed. Apparently, he didn't even speak to Peter Mandelson before his appointment.
Gold is trading at $4,812.53 an ounce. The rand is at 16.37 to the dollar, 22.13 to the pound, 19.28 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $94.81 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays in Centurion along the N14 North approaching Eupheus Road. That's due to an accident. There's also queuing traffic in the city of Tshwane along the N1 North. That's between John Forster Drive and Rigel Avenue.
And in your sport, West Ham held Palace goalless to move 2 points away from relegation, but it means Wolves have been relegated from the Premier League. Carlos Alcaraz in doubt to defend his Roland Garros title. And Springbok scrum half Grant Williams will join a Japanese side that's been undisclosed.
A cloudy day in store for Gauteng with scattered showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 23 and 24 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour, National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola is expected to make his first appearance today in the Pretoria Magistrates Court.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
8 minutes after 8 o'clock, you're listening to 702 Breakfast. My name indeed is Bongani Bingwa. As always, of course, we've got the whole team here. We're live and local at our Sandton studios. You, as part of 702 Land, are our eyes and ears wherever you are around 702 Land. If anything is worth noting, do let us know. We'll tell you what's going on in the world, including the just head shake news. I mean, what else can it be, Mateo? It's just a head shake story, right? There's some stories where you just go, and you just shake your head.
Yep.
Yet another top cop in the dock. The real question is, after today's appearance, how long does he stay in that job? Are we going to have another acting national commissioner? There's been some speculation about Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi being given a new national role. Remember just the other day, that's what we were told? That he'll still stay in KZN, but do you think they might be preparing him, at least for now, to act once again as the national commissioner? That would be one way for the president to solve it. It would certainly be a popular decision with many South Africans, even if it's in an acting capacity for now. Wink, wink. What are your thoughts, Mateo?
Look, I think talking about solving it, the police system in South Africa, I think, is what is the problem. I think even junior policemen walk into a system where it's already corrupt. This is how things work, and you don't step out of line, and that's why we're having most of them find themselves in this situation.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
I have a personal story. I think I told you this and I'm off air yesterday, but I think it's worth talking about. Long story. My daughter needed to use an e-hailing service the other day, and she thought it had arrived, and she went outside to get into the car, and it hadn't. Another driver, the previous one had cancelled the trip, blah, 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 fish paste. But for a couple of minutes, she had stood outside our gate waiting for the car. Now, I could see her through our CCTV cameras, our security cameras, and as I went outside, just because obviously the car hadn't arrived yet, a police van had stopped in front of our gate. So as I opened the gate, I asked these guys, "Good morning, officers. Can I help you? Is there a problem?" And they'd seen a cute girl, 17 years old. They were starting up some conversation. And of course, as soon as I came out, they looked awkward and embarrassed. These leery old men with big tummies in uniform. Now, that's not a corruption story. And I'm certain there are many, many honorable men and women in blue. I'm not suggesting most, or certainly not all, are like that. But how can you not be if all your bosses keep on getting accused of the kind of nonsense we see in this country?
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702
Certainly
1702.
Honorable men and
Morning, Bongani. Great show as always. I'm loving it. It's Musa. I'm calling you from Guatatu Saiguruleni. Bongani, I have a phobia of being poor. It's called povatophobia. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye, Musa.
Morning, Bongani and Kabazela Jablani from what we've been on. My fear of snakes Started when I was dreaming about them. I usually have a random dream about a lot of snakes. From then, I started having this phobia for snakes. I don't think I will ever overcome it. Even now, so even on a picture of a snake or whatever, or it's a movie, I just cancel that movie. No more. Thank you.
Marakabazela. Utlantaro, you are telling me that I should overcome the fear of Chichiboya. I call. I never. How it started is that when I was young, me and my friend, when we were in crash, so he came back from crash, and then by his home they had a lot of tractors and trailers. So there was this one trailer parked under a tree, and a lot of these hairy worms, the chichiboyas, were sitting, crawling all over this trailer. And we decided, no, we're going to come and kill these chichiboyas. They're sitting on my friend's grandfather's trailer. We killed those chichiboyas, and yay! Ever since then, I don't even want to see one. I can even change a route.
Bongani, more to you and Kabazela. Flores here from the beautiful Western Cape. Mouse and rats. I am 57 years old, going on for 58. I cannot stand these two creatures. I live in an area where there's a field next to my house. So yeah, obviously they would come and visit, looking for water. If I spot one, I run into the house. My wife, fortunately, is not afraid of them. And then I have these vicious dogs. So yeah, as soon as I see a mouse or a rat, I would scream out to my wife and I would go inside the house. So yeah, I still haven't overcome it. But the reason is I was bitten by a mouse when I was little. And that was, it was scary. Have a good job, bye-bye.
Hey, listen, don't knock it, hey? Rats and mice have been known to attack babies. And it's a serious problem when it does happen. Snakes,
Yeah.
I think the movie he's thinking about is Snakes, is it On a Plane?
Yeah, Snakes.
That's a Sam Jackson movie.
Yes.
Or is it Wesley Snipes? Sam
Where
Jackson.
he starred in it, yeah.
Yeah, Sam Jackson. Snakes, not snacks. I know he said it with that accent, but it's snakes. That's what he was talking about. What's a shishiboya?
A centipede.
Centipede. Oh, you've just given me a fear.
Mm-hmm.
Because on the skin as it crawls,
It's hairy.
and it's got that hairy thing. Oh, look at Palisa, so sharp. Remember this song? Oh, I'm so impressed. Remember this song? Rebby Jackson? The older of all the Jackson sisters. And she can actually sing. She doesn't whisper. What's your fear, Muteo? And how have you overcome it?
I still haven't overcome my fear. It's stepping out of the shower or the bathtub.
Huh?
The fear of slipping and falling out of the bathtub.
No, man. Has it ever happened?
It's happened before.
In adulthood?
Yes, it was in adulthood. I missed.
Hey, and the taller they come, hey? The harder they fall. So here's a tip for you. I've got these little bathroom mats. And when I step out of the shower or the bath, because I'm a Virgo,
Yeah.
I don't want to make them wet, dry my feet. So if your feet are dry,
Yes.
you won't fall. You won't slip.
It doesn't matter. Even when my feet are dry, I do what you're saying, but I'm still extra careful because I missed.
Ever dream you falling?
The basin by inches, and I knew then I can't be single anymore. I need to live with someone because what if I was lying there and no one could find me?
Ever dream you're falling?
Yes.
Cue Melba more.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Amo, who's sitting in their car thinking of all the grillies they fear? Is there a mouse in your car?
Oh, hopefully not. Oh. was queuing traffic in Gauteng along the M1 North. That's due to an accident after the Killarney bends. It's causing those delays. Please be on the lookout there while traveling. On the N3 North, we still have got queuing traffic between the Airlines interchange and Van Buren Road. Roadworks are causing these delays. There's also roadworks taking place along the N17 West between Heidelberg Road and Osborne Road. Please be on the lookout there. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Sitting in a traffic jam is as fun as a root canal on a Monday morning. But fortunately, the OUTsurance pointsmen are on the roads easing traffic congestion so everyone gets to where they need to be quickly and safely. And they've been doing it for the past 20 years. With OUTsurance, you always get something out in proud partnership with 702. Show them some love online using hashtag #PointsmanLove.
The Midday Report.
Weekdays,
12 to 1.
What is being decided here?
The application was done by IDEC. Then there was a request by IDEC to say we must keep him at Kosimamburu for us to be able to do the consultation. He will stay here until the 13th when he will be appearing again.
Guys, if you are consulting with him as the prosecuting team, is he a state witness? Has there been some kind of a deal done?
I don't want to go into those details.
Okay. Kaiser Khanyaku.
The Midday Report
with Mandy Wiener.
12 to 1 on 702.
702.
At Fly Sapphire, we know that some of the most important lessons take place beyond the classroom, on sports fields, stages, and tours. And so, we've brought back our School Booster Initiative, where 10 schools stand to win 10 domestic return flights each, helping their pupils fly further, dream bigger, and do what they love. Visit flysapphire.co.za. Tell us how these flights could benefit your school, and you could be a winner. Fly Sapphire for the love of flying. T's and C's apply.
Everything starts with a choice. For PPS, that choice was clear: to provide graduate professionals with support to create, protect, and accelerate their wealth. Because when graduate professionals support one another, progress multiplies. And together, those choices added up to a record-breaking 6.88 billion rand in profit share allocated to our members with qualifying life risk products for 2025.
At PPS, we know the whole adds up to more than the sum of its parts. Visit pps.co.za to see how it adds up for you. PPS, success is better shared. PPS is a licensed life insurer, controlling company and authorized FSP. Profit share allocations depend on PPS's operating and investment performance.
Shame. Do you have a sore throat? The Andalex range of lozenges offers two options. At the first signs of an irritated, scratchy throat, use Andalex lozenges for dual-action, soothing relief. But for a painful, inflamed throat, use Andalex C lozenges for triple-action, pain relief. Andalex, SA's #1 choice for a sore mouth and throat. Andalex lozenges are available at all leading pharmacies and supermarkets.
Just Andalex it.
2026 is going to be a year of firsts when the Sanlam Cape Town Marathon happens for the first time in May.
Love it.
And continues to push to becoming Africa's first major. So, join Cape Town and the rest of the world when we rise again to run for gold and make history.
That's what makes this one so special.
By turning Africa's biggest marathon into Africa's first major. Putting Cape Town on the marathon stage with some of the greatest cities in the world, like London, Paris, Tokyo, Berlin.
It doesn't get better than this.
The Sanlam Cape Town Marathon, 24 May 2026.
Get ready.
The 2026 Sanlam Cape Town Marathon, proudly supported by 702. Go to capetownmarathon.com for more.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
On to this now. I mean, listen, just a couple of weeks ago, he was the chocolate king, walking away with 50,000 Rand in the MasterChef South Africa. He's certainly been one of the season's brightest stars, a fan favorite. Mahlatse, the fish was not fishing. And this Sunday, your MasterChef journey came to an end. Welcome to 702 Breakfast. What did you make? What did you bring for us? What did you bring in? No food.
Just that my mind was everywhere. I forgot to bake a cake or something. I apologize for that.
No, that's quite all right. You're live on your Instagram for anybody who wants to see. Mahlatse, what's your handle?
I'm about to go live now. It's
who are you on Instagram?
Mahlatse Mongatane. That's all.
Mahlatse Mongatane, the full and proper name. I have so much admiration for all of you guys who've been on the program, because it's one thing to cook in your own home with your utensils, with ingredients you are familiar with, no time pressure, but being in that kitchen, my goodness, what was the toughest moment for you?
The toughest moment for me is this past Sunday.
Of course.
Because few minutes, they're saying that I have to know all those rice. And to my
It was
surprise,
rice.
it was
How
rice.
How do you
I took
win
it very
chocolate?
light.
Wanda, how do you win chocolate? The chocolate challenge.
The chocolate.
And lose ka rice.
It was so easy for me to win the chocolate challenge because I'm a baker.
Ah.
I started baking at the age of 12, by the way.
Okay.
So it was so easy
Yes,
for
of
me
course.
to, yeah. And because I do cakes, I make cakes for all occasion. It was so easy for me to just be creative, play around the kitchen. And right now, the clock is my enemy. But then that day, I felt like I had enough time for everything.
So when did you know, Asan, when the fish was not fishing?
When I saw like
Would you encourage anyone to enter MasterChef who knows they can cook?
If you know that you can cook, and if you have what it takes, please go to MasterChef. Honestly, the experience is amazing. Even though that clock. Can you please tell the team to get rid of that clock?
Listen, you are a fan favorite. We loved your diaries. We
Aw.
loved, you
You're going to make me emotional now. I don't want to cry.
Because you would say to the judges, "You'll see my dish. You'll see my dish."
Exactly.
I think it was also your honesty in the diary sessions that made you such a fan favorite.
Yeah.
We're half as disappointed as you are, but we thank you for the laughs, the fun, and just the great food we saw on screen. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much, Clockit.
And good luck to you on your food journey. Mahlatse Mongatane is the latest contestant to be eliminated from this season of MasterChef South Africa every Sunday on ETV.
Morning, Bongani. Good morning to the team. Please tell Mahlatse that I love him. I mean, I used to sit on the edge of the couch, just rooting for him, screaming, clapping, and doing all the crazy things that we do when we're watching your favorite cooking show. And now that he's out of the MasterChef, my heart is broken because he was my number one fan. So now I'll have to search and look for another fan. But yeah, I wish him all the best for everything that he, puts his hands into.
702, The World View.
With Adam Gilchrist. I think you were the fan, my friend, but let's catch up with news from elsewhere in the world. Adam Gilchrist, big concerns about a possible tsunami off the coast of Japan and even flooding perhaps in New Zealand.
Yeah, in New Zealand, for instance, they've had such torrential rain, flash flooding, mudslides, landslides, that a state of emergency has been declared in the New Zealand capital, Wellington. It's a wet place anyway, we know that, wet and windy, generally speaking, but they got 77 millimeters, which is a fair old slice of rain, in less than an hour. 77 mils in an hour. Local authorities have advised residents to hunker down. I'm never quite sure what that means. I can sort of stay at home, I guess. The opposite in northeast Japan, where residents have been told to evacuate. Don't do the hunkering, get out. We saw there was a 7.7 earthquake, more or less this time yesterday. It caused a tsunami wave or series of tsunami waves of about 80 centimeters, which basically was containable. But they're very worried about the potential for another earthquake and a much bigger tsunami, 3 or 4 meters. Potentially. So people there are being told to get emergency supplies for the next week. And it occurred to me, Bongs, what would your emergency supply for a week be? I mean, water, yeah, a torch, a blanket, and some Snickers bars? I don't think I'm as well drilled as the Japanese.
I'd make sure I'm listening to Adam Gilchrist and The Worldview every single day, of course. Adam,
of course.
Tell me about a visit to the unvisited.
Yeah, what we have here is a guy now who's been arrested and is being held in custody, a YouTuber didn't you know it was going to be an influencer? A guy called Mikhailo Polyakov. He's American, a tourist essentially. He went by boat to North Sentinel Island, which would be a difficult place to find on a map. Parts of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So we're talking 1,200 kilometers off mainland India, remote and untouched. And the Sentinelese who live there are a Stone Age era tribe and have been largely left alone. There were some anthropologists who decided, perhaps stupidly, to start dropping off toys and metal pots and pans in the 1960s, 70s and 80s. And then the Indian government said, nope, stop it, hang on. And they imposed a no visit rule so that the Sentinelese can be left to it, to come round slowly, maybe towards modern life, very slowly. So Polyakov may have been lucky to get out alive, because once upon a time they killed outsiders who went to visit there. He naturally YouTubed an account of his trip and left behind a can of Diet Coke. If there's one thing you think, 60,000 years on North Sentinel, would you want your first experience of modern life to be a bloke with a YouTube account and a mobile phone and a Diet Coke? Ooh, let's hope it hasn't had any lasting effects.
Yeah, I mean, he's lucky to have escaped alive. Maybe he'll YouTube his prison experience. Hey, Adam, we'll leave it there for this morning's Worldview.
EWN Business.
All right, let's talk business news now. Muteo Kharipe. He took over from, what's his name? What's his face? What's that other guy? He founded Apple, I think. What was his name? I'm being facetious.
Of course.
Steve Jobs.
Yes.
And now it's the end of his era.
Yeah, no,
Tim
time
Cook's
flies.
stepping down.
Time flies. Tim Cook is stepping down as Apple's CEO after 15 years at the helm. Under his leadership, he brought about a global smartphone revolution for the iPhone and transformed Apple into one of the most profitable publicly traded companies in history. With a reputation for logistical management, Cook first joined Apple in 1998, overseeing its worldwide sales and operations. In 2009, he temporarily began running day-to-day operations when the company's legendary co-founder Steve Jobs took medical leave due to complications from cancer. Now, in 2011, just a few months before Jobs' death, Cook took over as CEO. In a statement yesterday, Cook saying it's been the greatest privilege of his life to be the CEO of Apple and to have been trusted to lead such an extraordinary company. In 2018, Apple became the first public company to be valued at $1 trillion. It's now worth $4 trillion, around 68 trillion rand.
Do you think their products are going to get cheaper?
No, not at all.
Gosh.
No luck
We're
with
cooked.
that. You're cooked.
Where's the rand?
Well, markets were weaker yesterday, and so is the rand this morning. 16 rand 37 against the US dollar, 19 rand 27 against the euro, and a 22 rand 14 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $4,790 an ounce. It's down 0.5% this morning. Platinum also in the red at $2,077. Brent crude at $94 a barrel. Stephen Grotes with more this afternoon.
Gosh, temper, Sfisa Zulu.
Yeah, well, Bongani, a 58-year-old man is expected to appear in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court today following his arrest in connection with a deadly road rage attack. Police say an argument between the suspect and another motorist escalated into gunfire, reportedly after a minor collision in Emmarentia at the weekend. A video widely shared online shows the victim's children in distress as his son attempts CPR on his father. The victim's wife was also shot and taken to hospital for treatment. Professor Nicola Taylor from the UJ's Department of Psychology and People Management says road rage is often linked to personality factors.
If you're prone to stress, anger, hostility, potentially your persistent negative thinking, you're more likely to experience more things as a threat to yourself. Anger is one of the most deeply encoded aspects that's in our nervous system. And the interesting thing about experiencing something like anger is that it doesn't touch your frontal lobe before it creates an action.
A lack of resources has been described as a major obstacle in the fight against malaria in sub-Saharan Africa. CEO and co-founder of Goodbye Malaria, Sherwin Charles, says South Africa faces a slightly different situation because it has not relied on US support to control the disease, unlike several other countries in the region. His comment comes as the Gauteng Health Department warns of a surge in cases with 414 infections and 11 fatalities recorded since the start of the year. Charles links the rise in cases to flooding in South Africa and neighboring countries, saying the infections recorded in Gauteng are most likely imported.
Many of which would have come from our neighbors, primarily Mozambique, and or for Gauteng coming from a increase in the number of cases in Limpopo and in Mpumalanga. So the transmission may have taken place in those provinces, but the case is being treated in Gauteng.
The Madlanga Commission has clarified that a police task team established to investigate matters that come out of the inquiry is operating independently. National Police Commissioner Fanny Masimela last month established the specialized team to monitor evidence and referrals emerging from the commission. The team has made some high-profile arrests, including that of Ekurhuleni top cop Julius Mkwanazi and Sergeant Fanny Nkosi. The Commission spokesperson Jeremy Michaels.
The Commission is making this clarification because recently there have been media reports to the effect that the so-called Madlanga task team has arrested certain people. This is likely to lead to the wrong perception that Justice Mbuyiseli Madlanga or the Commission he chairs is arresting people. The truth is that it is an SAPS task team that has been arresting people. Justice Madlanga himself is concerned by the possible perception.
And the UN Security Council has condemned the recent killing of a French peacekeeper in Lebanon, whose death France has blamed on Hezbollah. The Frenchman was killed and 3 others wounded when their unit was ambushed on Saturday as it headed to a UN interim force in Lebanon outpost cut off from the fighting between Hezbollah and Israel. A statement from the Security Council also reaffirmed its full support for UNIFIL. The spokesperson of UN Chief Antonio Guterres addressed Saturday's attack during a briefing in New York and also spoke about the fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah.
While the temporary pause in hostilities offers relief, it falls short of the sustained ceasefire needed to protect civilians, particularly children who've endured weeks of intense violence and displacement.
A cloudy day in store for Gauteng with scattered showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 23 and 24.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 North. That's between the John Foster Drive exit and Rigel Avenue due to a major accident scene. There's also queuing traffic along the R21 North coming out of Nel Napier's Drive.
The top story this hour, a 58-year-old man is expected to appear in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court today after he was arrested in connection with a deadly road rage attack.
Andy here with more than just a betting app ad. Download the 10Bet app and enjoy the action of betting anytime, anywhere. It's more than just an app. It's a 10Bet experience. Join now at 10bet.co.za. 10Bet is a licensed betting operator and supports responsible gambling. No person under the age of 18 shall be permitted to bet. Betting can be addictive. Winners know when to stop. South African Responsible Gambling Foundation toll-free counseling line is 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710.
Joburg is more than just a city. It's an unmistakable rhythm that brings us all together. So in celebration of this, 702 has partnered with Josie My Josie to unite the whole of Joburg in the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk. Babiza bonke. The date is Sunday, 26 July. We're going on a walk through the iconic Joburg CBD and we want you to join us and be a part of something special. Entries will be opening soon, so in the meantime, you stay tuned to 702 and get ready for the 702 Josie My Josie Walk the Talk, hosted by the city of Johannesburg. Walk with the people, for our Josie. Babiza bonke. More on primemediaplus.com.
We at Monument Dental are very happy with the premium we're paying. I wish I did it sooner.
Outsurance business insurance clients know that it pays to switch. And did you know you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium when you switch? For dentistries, general medical practices, and all other businesses, get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance business insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
702
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Good morning, Bongani and team. I have trypophobia. I won't describe it. I won't tell you what it is. I'll just hope everybody knows what it is. Word of advice, don't Google it.
Junior from Easterus. Bongani, I have a phobia for a specific reptile whose name I can't even mention. That's how bad my phobia is. How do I overcome it? I don't want to. I don't want to face my fears. I really don't want to. So that's me. Have a good day.
Shame. You know it's a proper phobia when you can't even tell us. All she says is it's a certain type of reptile. Right? But she won't even say it because just, thinking about it, I imagine, overwhelms her. Trypophobia, again, another fear that somebody doesn't even want to explain. I've heard this one before. I think it's the one that is about shapes, or is it patterns, right? You sort of see things. I suppose I better not describe it, hey, because anybody with trypophobia will now start imagining, and that'll be a thing. Amo, what's your fear?
Mice. Oh.
What are you doing to overcome it?
Nothing really, because I'm so afraid of mice. It's beyond me. To a point where if I know that there is mice in my house, I'm not going home.
Where will you go?
To my friend's home, or until somebody has dealt with it.
I'm overcoming my fear of birds.
Mm-hmm.
I posted a video the other day.
Mm-hmm.
There was a bird that got into the house, and I chased it out successfully with a mop.
Okay.
Which is progress.
It is.
For me.
The funny thing is that my mother tells me that when I was young, I wasn't afraid of mice at all. I would pick up a dead one and run after you and say, look, look, look.
I used to do that to my sister.
Oh.
She had a crippling fear of mice, which is not, it's not really a thing for me. But birds.
Mm-hmm.
You must have been proud of me. Come on. I put this on my Instagram.
A little. Because I think you were prepared for it, right? If you happen to sit in a place where, say at a canteen or
if I didn't
at a
see it
restaurant,
was there.
You wouldn't know what to do with yourself.
Also, my daughter has now developed this fear of birds.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the one who alerted me to the problem.
To go and deal with the problem.
And I had to be dad.
Oh.
But the mop saved me.
Good morning, Bongani. Yeah, that means even that interview was not legit. Mkhwanazi was involved. That means they were cooking it. He was earmarked for that position. Probably didn't even qualify for it. So that's why they did what they did. Criminals must just go to jail. There are more charges that are going to come. As we always say, don't charge them with everything that you have and everything that you hear in Madlanga. Start small. And then you build up your charges while they are inside prison so that you don't give them even bail. These crooks. Sindile.
Sindile. There's so many Mkhwanazis and Juliuses that for a moment I didn't quite know which Mkhwanazi you were referring to. Of course, you're thinking about Julius Mkhwanazi. This is the suspended EMPD deputy chief who is alleged to have organized an impersonator for somebody who was interviewing for a job at the Metro, who couldn't be at two places at one time because he was also meant to appear in court. And you might have a point. I do think the Madlanga Commission task team is acting quite speedily on what occurs at the Commission. But these charges have nothing to do with what we've heard at the Commission. But you might have a point in the sense of just get them out of the way and get them away, importantly, from the kitty.
Hi, Bongani, but you don't have to disclose to your potential bosses that you have a court appearance to attend to. Just say, this date does not suit me for this interview. Can we schedule another date? That's it. You don't owe them an explanation.
All right. Maybe I haven't been on the job market for a while. The question and the debate is, why would you need to spend 400,000 Rand to have an impersonator appear on your behalf when you could simply have switched the date for the interview and come up with, I mean, it's solely cheaper. I mean, if we're going to go there, apply your criminal mind. Cindy, it's probably cheaper to get a fake doctor's note or something. 400,000 Rand it took for him to get an impersonator. Unless, of course, he didn't want to appear in court in the first place. Maybe that's the thing.
EWN Sport.
8 years is a very long time, Cindy Paluta.
It is. I mean, a
Shame,
lot can
man.
happen in 8 years.
What's happened in the last 8 years? Let me see.
COVID.
2018, hey? There we
Right.
were, living our best life.
Right. If you've got an 8-year-old, they're maybe in grade 1, grade 2.
Wow,
That's how much
yeah,
time it
that's something.
is. So, yeah. So, why are you saying 8 years? Well, because after 8 years, Wolves has been relegated from the Premier League. This after West Ham held Crystal Palace goalless last night, while West Ham now moved 2 points clear of the bottom 3. In the fight to avoid the drop, the reality is the Hammers have the toughest final 5 fixtures. They still have to play Everton, Brentford, Arsenal, Newcastle and Leeds. Tonight, Brighton are hosting Chelsea. Only 1 point separates the sides. A win for Brighton would push them up to 6, and that's obviously important because of Europa League. French Open defending champion Carlos Alcaraz says he'll miss the Grand Slam if he's not 100% over his wrist injury. He was speaking at the Laureus Awards last night, where he was named Sportsman of the Year, with Arena Sabalenka named Sportswoman. PSG won Team of the Year. The Sharks have confirmed that Springbok scrum half Grant Williams will leave when his contract ends in June. He's joining a Japanese side. Which side, we don't know yet. At the IPL, 4th on the table, Sunrisers Hyderabad are playing 5th on the table, Delhi Capitals today. Yesterday, Varmas unbeaten 101 or 45 saw Mumbai Indians to a 99-run win over Gujarat Titans. De Kock made 13 from 11 for Mumbai. He was caught and bowled by Kagiso Rabada. Rabada finished with 3 wickets on the night. And the FIA and F1 have agreed to adjust some of the sport's new regulations in an effort to improve the quality of racing and driver safety. Drivers raised concerns about approaching high-speed turns with the new 50-50 split power unit, as well as having to slow down to harvest energy in dangerous situations. The new measures will be implemented at the Miami Grand Prix next month. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
That's Sia before he got naked. Sia had a bumper bash and had to reattach his fender using duct tape and a prayer. So Sia got naked. He got comprehensive car insurance in seconds and can now submit claims instantly on the Naked app. No more arts and crafts for you, Sia. Cover your car and home now at naked.insure and see how easy insurance can be when you get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
Many of us take taking a deep breath for granted. But for some infants with RSV, every breath is a battle. Respiratory syncytial virus is a contagious virus that can lead to serious illnesses, including lung infections. Fortunately, protection for infants against RSV is now available in South Africa. Ask your healthcare provider about keeping your baby protected during their first RSV season.
No one gets fit overnight. It takes discipline, and your money is no different. A Nedbank 32-day notice account helps you build financial strength with up to 7.3% interest and 0 maintenance fees. The higher the deposit, the higher the return. Invest in under 2 minutes on the Money app and get money fit with Nedbank. For more information, go to nedbank.co.za. See money differently. Nedbank, we're a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
EWN Traffic.
8:45. Well, strictly speaking, 14 minutes to 9. Amo, please wrap up the morning's traffic.
Well, Bongani, the city of Tshwane remains a problem this morning. Hectic traffic volumes on the N1 North between John Forster Drive and Rigel Avenue due to an earlier accident. There's also queuing traffic on the R21 North approaching the Flying Saucer turnoff due to another accident scene. While traveling on the Mike 1 North, we still have got queuing traffic between Boyson's Road and Car Street. That's due to peak time delays there. There's also peak time pressure along the N3 North towards Van Buren Road. More updates at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
We all know that hustle, trying and yet battling to reach the right customers. That's how a lot of businesses start, but your marketing budget can only take you so far. Well, with the MTN business, you don't have to rely on just one channel anymore. You can reach your customers wherever they are through WhatsApp marketing, bulk SMSs, and digital tools. So instead of battling, reach the right customers with MTN digital tools. Let's talk shop. Click on mtn.co.za/business or visit an MTN store today. MTN Business, Africa's leading enabler of connectivity and converged solutions.
Breathe in, insurance. Breathe out, pineapple. In, insurance. Breathe out, pineapple. Again. In, insurance. Out, pineapple. Again and again.
Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
Hey, we buy cars. How does it work if I want to sell my car?
We'll drive to your place. You can visit our pods. Even if you don't have space, then at the mall in a parking lot, we've got lots of depots all across the land. Contact We Buy Cars. You're in safe hands. Safe hands.
Wow, that's great.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car by far.
702. WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Morning, Bongani and the team. A shishiboya is a caterpillar, not a centipede. A centipede is a shongololo.
Morning to everyone. My name is Jose from Pretoria. Firstly, correction, it's not, shishiboya is not a millipede, it's a caterpillar, one of those hairy caterpillars. There's different species, but it's a caterpillar. It's not a centipede or millipede. Centipedes are ishongololo. Alright, and my fear is, I have this fear of projectile stones. It's like whenever there's a car coming, I would look on the surface of the road if there's no stones that it can step on, and they would just eject from under the tire as like a fast projectile and hit me. So I have a very big fear of that. I don't know where it comes from. I've never been hit by anything, but I just seen cars stepping on these rocks and them ejecting under the tire in such a great speed. So it definitely hurt or injure you very much. So I have a fear. That's the only fear I have. No fear of animals at all. I actually love all animals.
I completely get the little rock thing. What do you call that? Is it a weed eater? That small single thing that they often use to even cut weeds or grass on the pavement. So I once had somebody working at my house, and there was a little stone, like a pebble, tiny little thing. He hit it with that as he was cutting grass or weeds or whatever it was, and it shattered a window. From being hit by it. And so whenever I'm driving past and there's municipal workers cutting grass, I always have in my mind what happens if they hit a little stone and that smashes into my car. So I completely get the fear of projectiles. Clement, can you confirm a shishiboya? It's apparently a caterpillar. We thought it was a centipede. But listen, I had a whole song. We even played a whole song around the centipede. So apparently a shishiboya is it's a caterpillar.
What language is that, shishiboya?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Ngumnyiki in my language. A caterpillar. Shishiboya.
Shishiboya. Azanka utlanteo.
Okay. Shishibuti or Shushubuti. Shushubuti, what's on the show?
Coming up on the
Any
show.
shishiboyas on your show?
So, we're going to be asking this question.
Did I just do that?
Yeah, you did.
Shishiboyas on your show. Who's the shishiboya on your show?
No. There's no shishiboya on the show. But we're going to be asking if the president needs to appoint an inquiry to recommend to him whether or not to suspend the National Police Commissioner, because the SA Police Service Act makes it very clear that if Cabinet loses confidence in the National Police Commissioner, there must be a board of inquiry. But then in this case, it's not
He's
like
charged.
they've lost confidence in him. He's just charged criminally. So the president would just have to make a decision.
Yeah.
But what guides him in doing that? Is it a decision that he just makes? Because you've got to look at the law. But unfortunately, this Police Services Act, when I look at it, it doesn't really say anything about what happens when the National Police Commissioner is charged.
Look, I think the decision must be rational and he must be able to explain it, but it's completely, it's untenable now. once the charges are formal, it's completely untenable that the top cop
would be in
would
the job.
stay in the job. And I was guessing a little earlier on because they've now given Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi a national role, and I wonder if it was in anticipation of this moment, and so he could be in an acting role, you see, so he won't have the job formally, but
yeah, I don't know. We debated this with the listeners the last time, and I think the general agreement I got was we agreed that he's too conflicted. I mean, he's acting as the National Police Commissioner because the National Police Commissioner has been charged in relation to a tender he, as the KZN, complained about. I mean, it gets really too tricky because he's got his own interests here, and you do need someone at that level who. But then again, who else is suitable to act in place of Fani Masemola?
I think many South Africans would be very happy
to have him
other
than somebody else, right? So that's what we're going to do. And then at 10 o'clock, will stay with policing matters. I'm going to be in conversation with the suspended Mpumalanga Police Commissioner. You saw her on Sunday, Lieutenant General Daphne Manamela. There are a lot of questions to ask, obviously, about those smeg kettles. Yeah, quote unquote.
Do you have a smeg kettle?
Demands.
You look like a smeg kind of guy. Yeah. Really?
Why are you asking me that?
He's got a smeg kettle. He's got a shishi boya kettle.
Anyway, that's at 10 o'clock. And then at 11 o'clock, we do our World of Work feature. Today, we're talking about employees who do the bare minimum in the workplace. And then 11:30, we do our health and wellness feature. Today, we're discussing adult acne.
Which is something you don't
get.
It's
not a shishi boya.
If you boil your water with a smeg kettle, okay? You don't have adult acne.
Go away.
You get it from shishi boyas, though.
Let's hear from Al, owner of Johnson's Cable, why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance.
I thought it was going to be difficult to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance. Switching was so quick and easy. I'm happy with the premium that I'm paying now.
For electrical, tradesman services, and all other businesses, get a quote today and see why it pays to switch to Outsurance Business Insurance. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 08600 60,000 today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Go big with Dis-Chem's big autumn savings on these Better Rewards brands. Swipe your Better Rewards card and save 25 Rand on Johnson's Baby Lotion 500ml. And save 165 Rand plus get free wipes when you buy 2 packs of Pampers Premium Care Nappies sizes 1 to 2. Look out for the Better Rewards icon to shop Better Rewards brands and start saving instantly. Offers valid until 10 May, only at Dis-Chem. Better health starts here.
Still shopping around for a saving here and a deal there? Choose Checkers, SA's #1 in value supermarket. And save on deals like Clover Butro Full Cream Modified Butter Spread, 500 grams for $79.99. Kellogg's All-Bran Flake Cereal, 1 kg for $79.99. And Baby Soft 2-ply Fresh White Toilet Rolls, 24-pack for $159.99. Save 60 Rand. Valid until 10 May. Only at Checkers.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
On to this now, of course, we're always supporters of the arts. So imagine this then, culture, identity and lived experience all on one stage. 3 12-minute performances in isiZulu, Sesotho and Xitsonga. This is, of course, the 12-12 Festival. And we've got Hayley Evans on the line, the co-founder of Pop Art and the curator of the 12-12 Festival, joining us to tell us all about it. Hayley, a very good morning to you and welcome to 702 Breakfast.
Good morning, Bongani. Lovely to be here.
And this is happening, well, in fact, it starts the day after tomorrow, does it not, at the Joburg Theatre?
It begins Thursday evening at the Joburg Theatre. So the program you mentioned is the first night of the festival, but we have 3 12-minute pieces, and the whole fest, all 12 official languages.
Oh, Hayley, we are losing your line there just a little. I understood this was from the 23rd, so what I've described is just one night only.
Correct, yes. that is the opening evening of the festival.
Oh, I see. So over the 3 nights, you'll be having different performances in different languages, but the idea is to cover all of our official languages over the duration of the festival.
That's correct. So from Sunday, if you buy a festival pass, you will have seen 12 pieces in all official languages, or each evening you can choose feel the most passionate about.
All right, tell us what has prompted the festival.
The festival is in its 3rd year now, and we at Pop Art, we are makers of fringe work. We support a lot of young artists or artists independent work, and we really find a drive to try and facilitate people making work in languages that are more comfortable to them as performers, passionate about, but languages that are also really wonderful for expression and cultural appreciation. And the festival is really trying to kind of consolidate that, say, instead of what we see sometimes on stage is work that integrates English to bring people along, let's experiment with short works and see what it means from an understanding of the audience perspective, but also as the performer's expression on stage. What does it look like when we do works purely in language? And can the audience understand? Is the audience able to? And we also really try and resist the idea of subtitling everything into English. So it's really about theatre as a visual language, helping us understand what is happening on stage. And in my personal experience, what it generally helps happen as well is it helps you understand languages better. The more you kind of indulge in listening and understanding, we understand what's going on around us. And I think for me, it's also about celebrating the effort that South Africans take to understand one another every single day.
All right, that's happening from the 23rd of April on at the Joburg Theatre. This is, of course, 12/12. And so the idea is over the course of the 3 days, they will have 12 stories told in each of our South African languages. You can, of course, go to the Joburg Theatre box office to book your tickets. This is at www.joburgtheatre.com.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Bongo 702 lenders, happy Tuesday, self-assured. I think some people in your life also push you to be that. I've always been so confident. I don't know why, but also my family, they've actually played a role in this, because I'll go to family events where they've arranged someone to speak as an MC or whatever the case may be, and if that person does not pitch, guess what? Shadi, can you please come and help? And off I go to the stage without any plan or preparation, and then I'll just take it over, you know? Even at work, I think I've got the spotlight. So I've always been so confident. I cannot even tell you where it comes from. It's something that I say to people that I think I've seen a lot in life, and it taught me that it can only be me. You know, so that's how I got to this stage. Thanks, guys, for a great show. Shadi, Kempton Park.
Thank you, Shadi, in Kempton Park. I've got a fear of emceeing family events. It's not in a professional space. I don't want to do it in a family space. It's always a disaster. Don't don't, Balisa. Ugh, just the thought. It's 9 o'clock. The Clement Manyatela Show featuring Shishi Boyas is here.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Spousal Zulu. 2 people are expected to appear today on allegations of corruption related to a procurement scandal at Tembisa Hospital in the Pretoria Magistrate. 2 people are expected to appear today on allegations of corruption related charges after allegedly soliciting and paying a bribe to quash an investigation into the 2 billion rand scandal. Whistleblower Babita Deokaran was shot dead after exposing widespread graft at the hospital. Dimakatso Leshoro reports.
A provincial manager at the Tembisa Hospital, Zachariah Chisel, and Hawk Sergeant Papitsi, are currently on 5,000 rand bail each, are expected to make another appearance at the Pretoria Magistrates Court this morning. Accused number 2, Sergeant Zia, allegedly contacted his colleague, Captain Khwedi, on behalf of Chisele and attempted to arrange a bribe to quash an investigation against Chisele or turn him into to a state witness with indemnity from prosecution. Unknowingly, the Hawks then set up an operation during which Chisele handed over 100,000 rand with the understanding that two officers would share the money. But the Hawks intervened, resulting in the arrest of both Chisele and Tsiye. Chisele has since paid over 13.5 million rand of his ill-gotten gains to the SIU. Timakato Leshoro, Eyewitness News.
The NPA has approached the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department to find out whether its suspended Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi was authorized to have live ammunition. Mkhwanazi was arrested at the weekend after being found with a large quantity of ammunition at his home despite being on full suspension. He appeared in the Boksburg Magistrates Court yesterday alongside the City of Ekurhuleni's manager Kagiso Lerutla. Both men are facing charges of fraud, corruption and defeating the ends of justice. The NPA says Mkhwanazi is accused of assisting Lerutla to manipulate a 2019 speeding case in order to prevent him from appearing in court. Alfara Mushwana reports.
Ekurhuleni Metro Police Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi was placed on suspension in November last year following corruption allegations that surfaced during the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. While he continues to receive his monthly salary during his full suspension, he was required to return all EMPD-issued equipment to the Metro. Police spokesperson Athlenda Mate says it's concerning that Mkhwanazi still had a large amount of live ammunition at his home, even though he was asked to return everything.
We can confirm that Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi was found with a number of 9mm, more than 100 9mm rounds of ammunition, as well as about 15 R5 rounds of ammunition.
While Mkhwanazi's arrest is in no way linked to the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, he's expected to soon return to the hot seat. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News in Boksburg.
National carrier SAA returns to Parliament today to face MPs about its latest financials and audit findings. The airline's appearance before the Portfolio Committee on Transport follows the resignation of Group CEO John Lamola and 3 non-executive directors this month. They are leaving as SAA continues to struggle financially. Babalo Ndenza reports.
While SAA has managed to make a profit over the last 2 financial years, the national airline's future financial sustainability remains in question. SAA officially exited business rescue in April 2021 after a 17-month restructuring process which saw thousands of retrenchments. The airline has now reported a 155 million rand net profit and an operating profit of more than 300 million rand, although most of the profit was propped up by one-off asset disposals. Professor John Lamola's resignation, announced on the 10th of April, has also left more questions than answers for the airline, which is dealing with a deepening financial crisis. Lamola will step down at the end of April, 4 years after leading the airline out of business rescue. The Auditor General is also expected to give MPs details about how SAA has performed in its latest audit and annual report. Babalo Ndenza, Eyewitness News.
And UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer has denied misleading Parliament over the appointment of Peter Mendelsohn as the country's envoy to Washington. He's instead accused officials of deliberately hiding information that the Labour politician had been denied security clearance. Starmer, who is struggling to contain the fallout over his decision to name Mendelsohn to the post, admitted he had been wrong to appoint the 72-year-old. Mendelsohn was already a known associate of late U.S. sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and had twice resigned from earlier Labour government posts. Starmer addressed Parliament again yesterday about the deepening political issue.
I do not accept that I could not have been told about the recommendation before Peter Mandelson took up his post. I absolutely do not accept that the then Cabinet Secretary, an official, not a politician, when carrying out his review, could not have been told that UKSB recommended that Peter Mandelson should be denied developed vetting clearance.
But UK opposition leader Kemi Badenoch says the Prime Minister deliberately turned a blind eye to the whole situation.
The Right Honourable Gentleman's defence is that he, a former Director of Public Prosecutions, is so lacking in curiosity that he chose to ask no questions about the vetting process. He asked no questions about Mandelson's relationship with Epstein. He asked no questions about the security risk Mandelson posed. Apparently, he didn't even speak to Peter Mandelson before his appointment.
Gold is trading at $4,812.53 an ounce. The rand is at 16.37 to the dollar, 22.13 to the pound, 19.28 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $94.81 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 North. This is in the city of Tshwane approaching the Flying Saucer interchange. That's due to an earlier accident. There's also queuing traffic reported along the Mike 1 South between Marlborough Drive and Coolidge Drive heading towards Melrose.
A cloudy day in store for Gauteng with scattered showers and thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 23 and 24 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. 2 people are expected to appear in the Pretoria Magistrates Court today on allegations of corruption related to a procurement scandal at Tembisa Hospital.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
You're with Clement Manyatela
On 702.
Let's Walk the Talk, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.